with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
The continuing rise of the cost of goods and services threatens to erode your retirement future.
Susan Sinoski, Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Retirees should be thinking about how much money they have and how long it's going to last. Costs are just skyrocketing. Medical costs, housing, food especially. And when was the last time you ever heard of a tax decrease? And I have to say, I have no fear at all, because my money is safeguarded with crash-proof retirement. And with our crash-proof retirement system, our money is not just stable, but it's actually increasing much more than we had expected. That money is always added to our principal without anybody getting a cut of that. It's just ours. We earn it, it goes into our account, and it continues to grow and multiply. My entire investment for retirement is protected.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Springfield Country Club, November 20th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Dreaming of a new bathroom?
Emmons Remodeling can turn your dreams into reality.
From modern shower or bath surround upgrades to complete remodels, our team of designers and remodeling construction experts deliver stunning results. We use high-quality materials to ensure that your bathroom will look great and last for years to come.
Call us today at 856-885-6677 or visit online at callemmons.com.
From top to bottom,
To inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
What do you call the NordVPN Black Friday deal, huh? The Block Friday deal. Because you block online threats. Black Friday, Block Friday. Get it? It's hilarious. Get the NordVPN Black Friday deal and block online threats now. NordVPN will encrypt your online traffic. Its Threat Protection Pro tool will defend you against web trackers, malicious websites, and malware-ridden downloads. Get the special Black Friday deal at NordVPN.com and enjoy safer internet daily. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie, and one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
Hey, this is Mike Quick. If you're in the restaurant, hospitality, or casino business and your point-of-sale system isn't helping you sell more, earn more, or work less, you need to talk to my friends at PDQ Signature Systems. PDQ has everything you need for success. PDQ POS is the fastest, easiest, and most reliable POS system available. Whether you have a single location restaurant or thousands of locations, Joe Flynn and his team will create a custom game plan that will help your business succeed. Visit PDQPOS.com.
On Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
It is Dom time. Welcome in. Great event last night, and I wanted to work that into what we talk about over at the Media Theater. What a location. Rich, Jimmy, there together. So I had the honor of introducing the two of them, and I brought up some of the Trump picks. And Mike Huckabee, I mentioned we did an event with him in media. The pick that got the most applause, and I think in the poll I put up on Twitter, there's a reason for that. People want innovation, but they want quality, is Pete Hegseth. So then I said, what's up with Matt Gaetz? And I would say, and you can call. Do not bother me about Matt Gaetz on Twitter during this if you're not willing to call in and let everybody hear it. The mixture of that toward Matt Gaetz was, shall we say, not exactly enamored. I'd put it that way. It wasn't overwhelming booing or anything. So what is up with the Matt Gaetz pick? Now, there are people that like this. I usually don't. About this 4D chess stuff that someone like Trump or anybody would be playing. One guy today on National, Hugh Hewitt, said, well, maybe this is a way they've gotten Matt Gaetz out of the House. All that goes away. He resigned to get ahead of this report because he's going to be, at least on paper, the Attorney General. Another, I think the best analysis of this was Megyn Kelly, who made the pay, and we understand this, that after what's been done to Trump, he wants a loyalist in there as Attorney General. That's fine. But I come at this, I think, in a good position because I see the wisdom of the Pete Hegseth pick as fresh out of the box, but somebody with a background and qualities that match up, and somebody who I think is going to reform what needs to be reformed, but is not going in saying he's going to burn it down. Now, if you're in the camp that thinks the win means we're just going to go in and burn it down, you can call the Burn It Down line, 855-839-1210 right now. Do it now. Tell us that. That's what you want. Or if you're in the camp that says, and I see more of it on Twitter, what I want this time around is reform. What I want this time around is being on top of it, no distractions, and getting meaningful things done. Kind of like the Elon Musk and the Vivek look at what has been a long-term thing of getting rid of the cost factor here in government that is out of control. Now, I'm all on board with those two. My counter to that is we could have a contest for listeners. And I could think of several and impanel them and take a look at what we're spending. I could give you a laundry list on this, and they would say, no, we're not going to spend that anymore. The problem is in following through with Congress. This is a battle where you have to get down into the trenches. You can't just inform people of it. We know it. Rand Paul has done a great job of informing, but every one of them wants to do some of these things to placate people back home. That's where the issue is. How do we, from day one, get on these things and stop them? So here's one example that's being used today, and it's a good one. This is cut 10. Here's this woman, Catherine Marr. She's the NPR CEO. Listen to what she said recently at one of her TED Talks or Catherine Talks. Listen to this woman who heads up a news organization, well, a charity organization from the American people. Listen to what she said, cut 10, about the truth.
I think our reverence for the truth might have become a bit of a distraction that is preventing us from finding consensus and getting important things done.
Our reverence for the truth is a distraction. So one of the things Musk has jumped on, again, let's get it done, is get rid of this funding for NPR. Let it dry up, go after them. Let's get that out of here. That's a good place to start. It's just one of many that you could take a look at. And again, we would be able to find these. Now, maybe Elon Musk, given his business acumen, Vivek, the same thing. Maybe they will be able to corral other things that are bigger savings. But I think people have a sense what they see, what the actual spending is. It's either way too much, unnecessary, or just a disgrace. NPR would be an example. And you do NPR. Let's check some boxes this time around. Let's not just use it to get people riled up. So I'm going to ask Jim Jordan at 1 o'clock about that. I'm going to ask him about these boxes that are being checked and what are they going to go after now that they have the House, the Senate, hopefully, will not be blocking them, although that's up in the air. What are they going to go after? I think that's what people really want. The other argument with this is that Trump picked Gaetz. If he gets him, he'll be good with that. If he doesn't, he gives people cover to vote for all of his other picks, like Pete Hegseth, like Tulsi, like any number of them. I think he wants Gaetz to be in there. Now, you know what? If you want to get an attorney general by recess appointment, meaning you don't have confirmation on this, then okay, but that's asking for trouble. What you're going to get with Gaetz there is 2 years before that would be up of just unrelenting back and forth. So this is a big moment of the Trump election. Is that what you want? Because these things are kind of mutually exclusive. Do you want that, or do you want almost extraordinary things to be done that we've been talking about for 25 or 30 years? One of them would be getting to the bottom of all these things that are classified, that the American people don't know it. They classify everything. They just say classified. That's an area that's going to take a lot to go after the deep state to probe that. The other is the deep state, removing any number of people that all they do is try to slow down Republican presidents. So 855-839-1210. On the Twitter poll I put up, Pete Hegseth was the runaway leader. When I asked which one of the big three picks, the big three offices, Secretary of State, Defense, or the AG, Matt Gaetz did get about 30% of people that said that was the best pick out of those three. And Rubio was last, but it wasn't bad. I mean, people are not dissing Rubio. So there is a claque today that's gaga over Matt Gaetz. And then there are a lot of people who may be scared to death. They don't want to appear to be disloyal to President Trump. I'm talking about listeners even. And saying, I don't know about this. I mean, what are we thinking with this? Won't this get in the way? All right, so 855-839-1210, which one are you? Which camp do you come down on? NPR would be a great place to start. Here is, this is cut 14. This is Jay Johnson, who served in several roles with President Obama. I think he was mainly Homeland Security is the one you would remember him for. Here's what he said about Pete Hegseth. Remember, this guy is the Obama guy. Listen to what he says about Pete Hegseth that's really good and really encapsulates what Trump saw in Pete Hegseth.
Let me ask you about another controversial pick, Fox anchor Pete Hegseth. He did serve in the Army National Guard, yes. But now he is up for Secretary of Defense. And, you know, he said a few things. He has lobbied for people who are accused of war crimes in Afghanistan. He recently said that women do not belong in combat roles. But you have said that you'd give him the benefit of the doubt. Why?
I've given the benefit of the doubt on at least the nomination at this point, because here's somebody who was well educated, obviously intelligent, was in financial services, was in the Wall Street community for a while, could have made a lot of money, and chose to leave that, put on the uniform of our country, and see combat. So I give him the benefit of the doubt for that reason. Being, with all due respect, being a cable news host does not necessarily qualify you to be Secretary of Defense.
It certainly does not.
And so, again, this is a nomination where the Senate has a duty to scrutinize the things that he has said, the positions he has taken with respect to those who have been found responsible for war crimes. You know, one of the reasons our U.S. military, and I worked alongside the U.S. military at the Pentagon for years. One of the reasons it is the greatest and strongest military on earth is not just because of our raw power, but because of the military's dedication to the rule of law, dedication to adhering to the rules.
All right, so that's Jay Johnson. That stuff at the end, you know, he's being mixed here on Pete Hegseth, but I wanted you to hear that this is a big deal. Now, there are some that just are saying, well, if Trump picks him, that's it. I'm not going to do that with Matt Gaetz. And Matt Gaetz has been on the show. He's an incredible guest because he says a lot of things. But 855-839-1210.
Did you hear Fetterman actually spoke about Gaetz?
Yeah, I think he said it was a God-level troll.
trolling.
Yeah.
And, you know, even the Republicans know who he is, and it's, again, we all know what, you know, the Democratic side is going to be. That's where the interesting, you know, the interesting answers are going to come from my colleagues on the GOP that are going to vote or justify voting for that mess.
Okay. All right, so you're going to get some of that. But look, I'll tell you straight up, he's not going to be confirmed that way. Straight up, he's not going to be confirmed. Do you want to go through all that? Is it worth it versus what this is about? And you might say to me, Dom, you don't get it. Don't say it on Twitter. Don't just stop. Call us and say it. Well, let people hear your reasoning. This election was about putting people like Matt Gaetz in there. Just get it said. Tell me why. Or is it about winning on the things that have been long talked about but are going to take a titanic struggle because the swamp in Washington is good at continuing to play a game. You know what it's like? It's like going into Afghanistan. Same thing. You can day after day decimate, but they're playing 100 or 1,000-year war. And then we leave. Well, they're trying to run out the clock already. They're trying to put in as many roadblocks. Let's do this. Let's block that. Let's get this thing going for a while. Running out the clock. You know, in football, in basketball particularly. Some people are very skilled at that. That's what they're doing already. All right, here is, and this guy, Mark Wayne Mullen,
I like this.
Is the guy that challenged. It was the UAW guy, or was it the Teamsters? One of the union guys.
Yeah, O'Brien, whatever.
Yeah, O'Brien. Yeah, and O'Brien was standing up to him, which was kind of foolhardy. Big guy. Here's what he said about Hegseth's experience.
Here, Peter served for 20 years in the United States Army. He was a decorative combat veteran with 2 Bronze Stars, and he's a civilian. People forget that the Secretary of Defense is supposed to be a civilian. That's for a particular reason. So he knows how to carry a message. He knows how the military works, and he's truly a civilian. He's not a general that's just going to be looking over at other generals' shoulders. He's somebody that's going to go up there and actually look at things from another perspective, and the DOD needs to be looked at differently. They have a tremendous amount of bureaucracy. There's very little accountability underneath the Harris-Biden administration, and I look forward to him coming in and talking to us. But I have, as of right now, I'm 100% for Peter getting nominated. Now, at the same time, he's got to come in front of the committee, and I think he'll do a great job.
All right, so there's a lot behind that. What I'm saying is the Hegseth pick is the best of Trump here as far as what I see we want to do. It's outside the box. Really, the one I think is going to be a star, and, you know, it's downplayed if you're not interested. It's Elise Stefanik as the UN ambassador is going to be a star. She is very, very smart. When we've had her on, very, very good. She fits perfectly that role. But Hegseth is also going to star in this. Matt Gaetz, no. So 855-839-1210. Is it not about that, though? Is it about burning it down and being entertaining for 4 years along the way? What will Matt Gaetz do that you think actually would be the reform? And again, are there other people that would be loyal to Trump after what Trump has been through? We get that. And this is the key spot. Yet, they're actually methodically going to take this apart. 855-839-1210, AT&T, and Verizon Wireless, just push pound 1210. We'll take your calls coming up. Now, Jim Jordan today at 1 o'clock. We also have Jeff Bartos in studio, who I saw last night at Rich's event, ran for the Senate, and is very much hoping to land in the Trump administration, and I think that he will. Also, the Bucks County DA, I don't think we've ever spoken on after she's taken over from the previous guy. They held a big event in Bucks County in which you bring in your car and they will code, I guess, we'll find out the exact word, your catalytic converter.
Oh, thank gosh.
Because of all the theft of catalytic converters. Now, I don't know how the criminal knows that don't take this one or do that or whatever. I think the point of pressure, like all this stuff, and we know what it is. It's in Philadelphia. It's these shops in Philadelphia, and that Larry Krasner didn't break up these rings. He doesn't care about that, and the suburbs have to deal with it. Remember, the previous DA, as I remember it, was part of a group that went in to Philadelphia on a long thing that hasn't gone to court yet, but it's like a huge, giant ring that was wide out in the open here. So we'll have her at 2:30 today.
Yeah, that was Matt Weintraub that did that.
Yeah, it was Matt Weintraub. Okay, you got the side. Well, I didn't give the side question. So I think it was Henry saw it yesterday that today is National PJs Day, pajamas. Dan at it. Yeah, these people wearing it to Walmart as a look. I have not seen that, but my God, come on. We want to know some fashion that's kind of a fashion that should never appeared. It did appear. We don't want it to come back. We don't want to see anybody doing it. So I'm going to take off the board.
Where do you stand, Dom?
Yes.
Sorry, before you
Go
take
ahead.
one off, on grown men wearing football jerseys to work as a potential bad fashion.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Yeah, you're right. It is okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I didn't even notice.
Very okay.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Okay, just
Yeah, I don't think the football jersey. I mean, I've worn.
I've
hoodies.
considered it myself on
Yeah.
time, and I took it off before I left the door. But Henry does it proudly, both with Phillies and Eagles, and
Yeah,
I credit him for it.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'll wear them all.
All right,
I've
so-
worn hoodies to do the show, so I guess it's.
By the way,
so,
I'm wearing a Devontae Smith jersey. It's
Okay.
the man's birthday today.
Okay. Oh,
Happy
good.
birthday.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to cut you off there, Dom.
That's
so
okay.
apparently that's a
All
good
right.
fashion, not a bad
So,
fashion.
I have not seen a lot of this recently, and this used to be so bad that I think the current mayor of Wildwood or a few mayors put in laws against it. Low-rise jeans, the
Yep.
low-rise. Don't see it as much. I know it's more of a summer thing. I didn't see it this summer. And for women, my fashion tip of the day, never wear the platform shoe because the platform shoe has a heel. You get why the high heel was invented. It's engineering. It flatters. Do I have to go through chapters?
I didn't
of
know
the
you were so
engineering?
against platform shoes for women.
It does not flatter the leg
so like
of a
platform.
woman.
So the big thing now is like the chunky platform sneakers.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
No one's going to look over at that. Please stop it with the
I
platform
don't
shoes.
think it's bad.
I think it's pretty good.
It's
Yeah.
horrible.
The sneakers are a better look.
Well,
My wife's just got really chunky clogs.
You don't
And
understand
I have to say I
the
might be with you
engineering.
there.
The guy who made the high heel was not a platform guy. He got it. It's a thin. Now, it doesn't have to be a
Do you know
stiletto.
how hard those things are to walk in, though?
Well, I know,
I
but
don't. But
that's why they are fashionable. The platform is not. Henry, what's yours?
Yeah, so I'll take two off the board here. The first one I'm going to go off was a 90s, 2000s trend of Jinko jeans.
Yes.
Oh,
Remember
great
those?
answer.
Yeah. They're essentially gigantic bell-bottom jeans
Right.
that just look terrible. I don't know why those were ever a thing. And then the other 2000s-esque item of clothing I'll take off would be any Ed Hardy shirts.
Oh, yes.
Very interesting and intricate patterns on those that I don't know why anyone wore because they look awful.
Affliction
Okay.
as well.
How about yours, Dan?
How about let's go back to say the 80s or so. How about a white leisure suit with a gold chain?
There you go.
Oh.
It wasn't white, it was rust-colored, but that's another story. Although I did have a white wedding suit, which no chain with it. Well, it was
You wore
underneath.
white to your wedding?
Of course.
Wait.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a foul.
That's
fashion?
that's not
There's only
any
going to be
kind
one
of
person
foul.
in white.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
Like-
that's not the case. That is such a ridiculous thing. Violate that at all.
No, but like even like the mother of the bride's told not to wear white. You don't want to
I don't
upstage
care
the
about
bride.
that. I'm the second to the bride.
Did
not
Ro
the
wear
mother
white?
bride. Yes,
Okay.
of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
I hope so.
Yes. All right, bro. Feel free to call in on that line if you choose. It was a little bit off white.
Hey, I just want to put it out there too. If get listeners thinking out of the box, if you can
Yeah.
think of a specific instance where a bad fashion
Yes.
would be in case too, that might be
Yeah,
something.
that would be
Yeah.
good. Don't say the fanny pack. We know that. We've been through that. Take that one off.
Yeah, but like a
Yes,
Speedo to
yes, yes.
Walmart, that's pretty bad fashion.
Yes,
Well, Speedo
exactly.
anywhere is pretty
Yeah,
bad fashion.
it's amazing how many people do wear this stuff to Walmart. Just amazing. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. With Vivek and with Vivek today, Elon Musk heading up this committee, Fox is showing all the federal spending, all these ridiculous things. I think the issue those two have to get to is, what do you have to do to stop this? In other words, how do you cut it off? It's Congress that appropriates all this money. Is there some mechanism they're working on that could be voted on to stop it, to somehow or another cut it off? It's not the individual thing. It's behind it, the power of Congress to spend this stuff. Let's hope they're working on that, because just detailing it, Rand Paul has done that thing that he walks across the Senate halls with stacks and stacks of the spending. What's the mechanism they're going to come up with to stop it? Okay, phone lines, 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board here on Talk Radio 1210.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, the voice of the people.
First thing I want to say is a shout out to you guys. You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
You guys make my morning every morning. I voted Trump, my whole family. I obligate my whole family to vote Trump. I am so excited. Like, tears are coming out of my eyes. Like, it's a real thing. I love America. I love this country.
From South Jersey to Delco, from Bucks to Montco, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, we are the voice of the people. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Cancer, a scary word, but not so scary if you have the right team. Hi, this is John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, Sundays at 8 and again at 4 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. And that team is Dr. Molly Fantasia and the medical staff at Innovative Medical Associates. Yes, cancer is a scary word and a difficult condition if you've been diagnosed. Over the years, the staff at Innovative Medical Associates has helped hundreds of patients with their unique medical hydration protocols. Cancer support is a large part of the practice at Innovative Medical Associates.
We believe in medical hydration. We've improved it so much that we are able to help people across the board with challenges before they become chronic.
Talk about improving your quality of life. Most likely, that'll happen when you visit Innovative Medical Associates. Check them out on the web at innovativemedicalassociates.com or call 856-489-0505 to schedule your initial complimentary consultation.
This is Larry Sinus with Investor Schooling. You may know me from my book, Money Hacks. You may know me from my radio shows. And you may even know me from some of these commercials. But listen, I'm teaching stuff that people need to learn about money. In fact, my favorite topic is money. So go to investorschooling.com and you will learn things about money that you never even knew existed. We will teach you things about real estate, about the stock market, and about how to use your IRAs properly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Sinus with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you can even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, this is Jimmy Fallon in the house, and dig this, folks. This is not a drill. It's the real thing. You can now join me weeknights from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT or anywhere on the free Odyssey app.
All right, here during the break, I'll take you inside the Dom Giordano show, Brain Trust, and it is getting bigger all the time. Big brains here. They only have two brains. They only have Elon and Vivek. We've added Henry to the list.
Yeah,
here.
it's like 1.5 now.
So
I'm giving myself the half, Henry.
The big news is that I would say the biggest ally, biggest friends, and I'm saying this from the inside, of Don Trump Jr., and this is good. Project 2025. I wish those idiots at the Heritage Foundation, sorry, they were big-time idiots.
Get them out. Get them out.
You know, we got to call them as we see them here if we're going to win. They gave them 2025. Look at this, page 609. Oh, my God, you're not going to be able to have sex. They'll know. What did they say? They're going to know when you had sex or something crazy.
Adios, muchacho.
There you go. Don Trump Jr.'s best friend and ally, the architect to bringing him to our Politics and Pints, Sergio Gore, is going to be in charge of White House personnel.
Sergio.
So Sergio is going to be right in there. Now, Dan, you know what I'm thinking. That means he's in charge of, you weren't, this is a while ago. I did broadcast from the White House during the Clinton years. It took a lot to do that.
Yeah.
I didn't get Bill Clinton or anything, and they had a giant thing of Hillary, 8 feet high picture behind us.
Oh, yeah?
Doing it. I just did it myself. And we had all these big guests coming in there. We were like maybe 50 or 60 feet, 100 feet away from the Oval Office. I could see them opening and shutting the outer doors there as we're broadcasting. So I think Sergio should be able to hook us up.
Did the picture come alive?
I am a real person.
Did not see her.
So Sergio, I mean, he's really had the inside track to Don Jr. for a while now, right? You've known him as a good friend, and he's had a lot of relationships with the Trump family in really positive ways.
One of the biggest fundraisers. His PAC, I think, raised $60 million.
So great move the year that Sergio.
Oh yeah, we met him. We broadcast from Michelle Bachmann, Congresswoman Bachmann, who was a real hot conservative back in the day. And he was her chief of staff or something, and that's how we met him. And then he ends up with Rand Paul. And he got us Rand Paul to come here. The only time station has ever had a candidate for president do one of our events. It's big. We did it in Independence Hall, the whole thing.
I don't want to give the guy too much credit because I don't want to overstep here, but when you think of the open-mindedness of the campaign this time around in 2024 compared to having, say, Mike Pence as your vice president last time and having kind of an inside
Don
baseball.
Jr. Yeah.
And Don Jr.'s mind, I think, was what was opened up, and I think a big portion of his mind opening up and the whole J.D. Vance coming into the campaign, I think Sergio had a huge hand behind the scenes and all that.
Exactly. Brilliant guy. So he's going to be in charge of White House personnel. This means everything that goes on in a White House, from the janitors on up, the whole thing is going to be the guy that is the best friend. He was there at I don't know how many people met him at the Don Trump Jr. event, the guy that was there with him, Sergio. He's my guy and the guy that put it all together for us. So that's an uptick, all right? But I am not on board with Gaetz. I'm not going to come on. Why are you not talking about Gaetz? I don't want to talk about Gaetz because I'm not on board with him, and I don't want you to know that. I'm telling you I'm not. It's a distraction at best. Get somebody in there who's going to be loyal, somebody who's going to push back, but not something that is going to be difficult. Let's go to Seth in Newcastle. Hey, Seth, thanks for being first in today. Go right ahead.
Yeah, hi. I think that he's being used as a scapegoat.
Meaning?
I think he's going to be the one person they're not going to set through, and he's going to be the one that they say, well, we didn't give Trump everything he wanted.
Yes. Now, here's the thing. I think you're right, Seth, on that it can go that way. Why do that, though? I mean, why play that type of game? What do you gain by that? Get inside the mind of Trump. What do you gain versus putting somebody in there who's going to do all the things you and I might want, but is not going to suffer this kind of backlash?
Because I think that what's going through his mind is, well, they're not going to give me everybody that I want, and let's see what we can do. And I have somebody else in mind that would probably be better. And this is my way of saying, hey, you shoot him down, and I will give you somebody else.
Okay, I always think, he may be thinking that way. I don't know if you like that lane of thinking. Maybe I'm not a 4D chess player. I'm more direct, going right down Broadway with who I do want. So if it gets Pete Hegseth past people, get him in there, I'm fine with doing this.
Yes, I agree with you.
Okay. All right. Fair enough, Sean. What's your fashion trend that should not come back? And I'm looking at Henry as you say this.
Yeah.
It's a mullet.
Oh.
Yes. And who has a mullet other than Henry? Do you know? That's in the news.
From the 80s.
That's in the news. Very much. Pete Hegseth.
Oh, does he really?
Hey.
Yes. Oh, yeah. He does.
Kindred spirits here.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, he hides it because he keeps it trimmed and coming in. But for some reason, he has a mullet, which I've never understood. I have a fetish on hair. I've never understood the
Henry's
mullet.
isn't much of a mullet yet, though.
No,
it's more of a hockey flow. He
I've
had the longer mullet before.
Why did you do a mullet, Henry, when everybody else in the world did?
Just because.
Okay,
I can.
there you go. All right.
I change my hair, my beard. I change it up every few years or so.
Okay.
We get a handlebar mustache going there.
Oh, I hate the handlebar mustache.
If I could grow a handlebar mustache, I would. My mustache isn't coming out
Seth,
great.
that is a great one. We should have taken that one off, but we didn't. You're in that running. Thank you, Seth.
You're welcome.
All right. So far, people not coming back, on the Gaetz thing. Is that what it is? Is it to do that so that he gives cover to these people saying, well, I voted down Matt Gaetz, but I gave Trump these other ones? Is Tulsi Gabbard going to get through? I think so, but I'm not sure. Pete Hegseth is going to get through. He's going to get through the Senate. The Lisa Murkowskis of the world, you can't count for that. But he's going to make it through. A guy who's not going to make it through all this is Bob Casey Jr., who I used to say, look, he's bad, but he's a nice guy. What he's doing now is trying to soften up the battlefield. He's being used. They're telling him, you can still win, Bobby. You can still win. And let's face it, what else does he have in life? He's not good. He's been there because of the father. So how does he soften up the battlefield for 2026 and 2028? I'll explain what they're trying to do through him with Mark Elias here and others. They're already fighting the next war. Hey, the NBA is back, and FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook, first of all, they want you to catch all the action. Right now, FanDuel is giving everyone 3 months of NBA League Pass. All that you have to do to catch every tip-off and buzzer beater is place any $5 bet on the NBA to get 3 months of NBA League Pass, courtesy of FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com/Dom to make every moment more. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. And FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. Have to be 21 plus. Present in Pennsylvania. After a 3-month free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime, no refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. You know how important online privacy and security are these days, and that's why I subscribe to Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo. Have you ever searched your name online and noticed how many sites are actually selling information about you? Privacy Pro is going to help you remove your personal info from those super creepy sites so they cannot share it or sell it. That's important to me. I know it's important to you. And you know what I love? I have my own little DuckDuckGo dashboard, so it actually keeps tabs on the progress of any ongoing removals and then lets me know if my personal information was removed. It gives me those dashboard reports in real time. Gotta love it. It's 3-in-1 subscription service, DuckDuckGo's VPN, personal information removal, as well as identity theft restoration. Get an exclusive 7-day free trial at DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Then you'll pay $9.99 a month. Sign up now, DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Tell them Dawn sent you.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track.
Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
See Joe Conklin at Parks Casino with the world-renowned City Rhythm Orchestra for a special Conklin's Comedy Night Christmas show. Thursday nights, December 5th and 19th.
Was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, there were no presents for Jerry Jones because he's such a louse.
It's Conklin's Comedy Night Christmas show with City Rhythm at Parks Casino, December 5th and 19th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. joeconklin.com!
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about your thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
A storm system approaching from the west will keep skies mostly cloudy through the day today. High temperature below average at 52. Tonight, clouds continue with showers possible, mainly south and west of Philadelphia. Low 40 for the city, cooler in the suburbs. And Friday, increasing sunshine and milder with a high 58.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, it is Dom time. So don't forget, the FBI raids the New York City home of the Polymart CEO. Now, I don't know, is this guy hinky, kind of like the guy that was in the islands that got caught up with Bitcoin? Or it has all the elements of the deep state striking again, because this is the guy that called the Trump win, the betting odds. And people are going with that as a big barometer versus polls. It might be more accurate, but all you need is one whale in there throwing a lot of money, and it can skew the results. This guy looks like the guy that got popped for all the Bitcoin or whatever it was, whatever his scheme was, Shane Copland. And is this the example again of another deep state maneuver? Because I guess they believe this helped Trump win. I don't know. They got his phone. He's claiming clear political retribution. And that's possible. And if you're Trump, you want somebody who's a loyalist as your attorney general. But Matt Gaetz, that's the point here. Let's go to Lou in Philly on Talk Radio 1210. Hello, Lou. Welcome in. Lou, are you there?
Hello.
Yes, go right ahead, Lou.
Hey, Dom, how you doing, man?
Good, good.
Hey, I'm actually from Maple Shade, New Jersey. I screwed up.
Okay, it's all right.
Hey, I think Matt Gaetz would be, a great pick. I mean, you got Trump's got 20, 30 people, smart people that pick these people. All of a sudden, they don't know what they're doing.
Well, I take that to know they're not picking it. Trump's picking it.
Yeah.
I mean, look, some of these lower positions, Trump will go, all right, I'll let you have that one, something like that. Don Jr., we just told you the head of personnel. But the attorney general is arguably, in Trump's mind, the biggest pick of all because of what's happened to him before. And I get that, Lou. I get it deeply. But you got to have a loyalist who would be great to be attorney general, not a guy. Now, you know what's going to happen in the confirmation. That report on Gaetz, underage women, drug usage, that's been handed over, will be handed over. The FBI is going to go all out on this. And during the confirmation hearings, will he tell the truth? Will he lie? What will happen? Do we really need that? Is this guy so good you're willing to do with all that nonsense?
I think he is, man. I think he's a bulldog, and I think directly under Trump, he's going to be,
To do what?
To do whatever Trump asks him to do.
Okay, is that what you want? So that's what the election was about. That's winning to you. That's what you think it's going to be. You know what the outcome of that's going to be, Lou, for good or bad. The outcome is going to be that's where the attention will be. That's what the focus will be. Don't you want Trump, wasn't he elected, to do these other things?
Yeah, well, you could say that about everybody he picks.
No, I'm not saying it. Look, Pete Hegseth is an out-of-the-box pick, but I think that's a great pick. That's an inspired pick. I don't think he has the bag. Well, look at the difference between the two. He doesn't have the baggage of Matt Gaetz.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right there. You're right there.
That's what I'm saying. So I want to get Hegseth as my key guy to get confirmed.
Okay. Gaetz probably will never make it, but I think if he doesn't make it, Trump should use him somewhere else.
All right, that's fun. Look, yeah, I get what you're saying as, gopher in some assignments, whatever. That's different, Lou. You're bulldog behind the scenes. That's different versus when you're the attorney general. All right, Lou, do you have something that's fashionable or you don't want to see?
The only thing I could think of is I had one, them bras you put on your car.
All right, that's outside
there
the box.
Yeah.
Man. That's
all right. Yeah.
Is that a triple ZZZ or something? Oh my God!
I mean, they are protective though, especially the leather ones. I might defend them.
Yeah. Let's get the bras back.
Bras on the cars. Yeah.
What is this?
So there's two things that Lou could be referring to. First off, you can put the leather over your bumper,
yes.
And it looks like a bra on the front of your car, and it was to protect like rear ends, from scratching your bumper.
Yeah, you got promo right there. There you go.
And then you also had a take on that. It was a joke, and they would mock it by actually putting like lingerie bras on cars to kind of mock that. So I don't know if you could have been returning to that.
We don't see much of the no bra look anymore.
Lingerie or lingerie?
Lingerie. We don't see much of the no bra look anymore. That's a look that should come back. I don't know it was ever a thing. The low-rise pants, no. That's out.
The low-rise pants.
Where did the low-rise pants go? That used to be a thing that was just...
I think they're kind of making a comeback.
I didn't see much this summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much at all.
Yeah.
All right, so the cut-off short look for men is a look that
trouble
I
with this one,
is fine. I'm staying away from that. All right, 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all you have to do is push pound 1210. I arrived at a good solution there, Dan, with Lou. He wants a bulldog for Trump. Good. Hire Matt Gaetz to be, his advisor. Attorney General has power here. Look at the others. I'll put it this way. Do you want to do is winning the election about doing to the other side the lawfare that we see done to Trump? No. I'm not signing up for that. What we want to do is, though, we want to go – what I'm most interested in is who's going to be the FBI pick. That's the area, when that comes down, that I really want to get to the bottom of this. Still, those people in the FBI, the stuff with traditional Catholics, going after them, among other groups that they've gone after. The Mark Houck thing wasn't FBI. That's another area per se. But that type of mentality, that's the root cause. I want to get those people out of there. But 855-839-1210, you get in. Pete Hegseth is the guy that's really going to make a difference if he can be gotten through confirmation. Still got to deal with Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski. And we are trying to get Dave McCormick on. I don't know if he's going to reveal. I don't know why not. I think every one of these senators ought to reveal the person they voted for yesterday. 855-839-1210. That's the way to get in. And who is the best pick so far? Who do you like the most? If I had a judge last night, it would be either Pete Hegseth or Tulsi Gabbard, based upon the way people that were at. I really like the Elise Stefanik pick. It's not as prominent of a role necessarily, UN ambassador. She's going to be a star there, though, a true star. She's been brilliant. We've seen it a time and time again. All right, we're coming to your calls next. At 1 o'clock, Jim Jordan. Hey, it's so important to make sure our families have the essentials, food, shelter, and, of course, pure, clean drinking water. A lot of news about drinking water these days. Just do what I did. You count on Martin Water Conditioning to secure your family's drinking water. The Kinetico system removes all the impurities from your water. What comes out of the tap is crystal clear, all natural water. Not only is it the best tasting water ever, it provides peace of mind knowing that your family's water is pure and clean. The Martin Water Conditioning family is passionate about water. They'll put their 46 years of experience to work for you. Their customer service and attention to detail are just fantastic. They'll come out to your home, test your water. It's a free test. Dwayne, our guy, they love showing you taking those impurities out of the water, the before and the after. So contact Martin Water Conditioning. They'll take great care of you. Tell them Dom G sent you. Call on martinwater.com or 800-887-7555. 800-887-7555.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
I voted for Trump. My wife sent me divorce papers. What do I do?
Call a lawyer, sir.
I didn't even know it was possible to be served divorce papers this quickly. I'm shocked. I married somebody willing to throw away our entire life over politics. Last week we were happy. Today we're getting divorced. Says nothing will change her mind.
You guys can't agree with your spouse on every political issue.
Oh, hell no.
You can only be with somebody if they align with you politically.
That's why I mentioned the Joy Reid clip. Like, you're really not going to go to somebody's house on Thanksgiving or invite him over because Trump won?
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Jim Cipriotti at Retire Ready Financial Group doesn't need Google to know you're worried about retirement. Between inflation, rising taxes, and the uncertainty about Social Security, he understands. That's why he offers a complimentary retirement second opinion. It's a no-obligation meeting for you to talk about your concerns about retirement. You want to know if you're going to be okay? Let's find out. 610-894-7415 or go online, retirereadyfg.com.
Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, NPN number 2083768.
At Independence Blue Cross, we take care of the people who take care of you. Everyday heroes like firefighters, police officers, teachers, farmers, and healthcare workers. Doctors and hospitals across the region have IBX, and they know what it means to have reliable access to care. So whether you're saving lives or just trying to live a healthier life, count on IBX, the region's #1 health insurer for 85 years. Learn more at IBX.com.
Wawa's hot turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets because hot turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi-8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, here he goes. Jimmy Matthews now has to say President Trump, and he has to run up the art museum steps. That's all, though, right?
That should be our addition to this whole thing that
Yes.
Kale and Zioli are doing with him, where we say every step you take, you have to say President Trump. Yell it at the top of your lungs.
Yes.
President Donald Trump.
Jimmy, let's add to that. As we understand
I know, that's what makes it hard.
8:20 a.m. on the 20th, which is next...
8:30.
8:30. Next Wednesday, the 20th, he has to run up the art museum steps in his boxers. Just his boxers.
Yeah, and a MAGA hat as well.
A MAGA hat, too. Oh, man.
And this, if you're just joining us, Jimmy Matthews, a noted nephew of MSNBC's Chris Matthews and fan of 1210 WPHT, but fan of the opposition as well, a left-leaning individual, always calls out the hosts for misspeaking and calling him President Donald Trump when he was former President Trump. Now also eating his words because he's making bets with multiple hosts here that Trump would not win the election, saying that he would run up the steps, as he just heard at the Art Museum, in his boxers and a Donald Trump MAGA hat if Trump were to lose, and is good enough to indeed do so. 8:30 Wednesday of next week. Dom, you're going to be out there. You got to see this.
Yeah, I got to get out there. I thought he only bothered me the most on this over the years, hundreds of times on
Apparently
Twitter.
It's spread. I think it really rose with the rise of YouTube, youtube.com/@12WPH. There's been a whole community that's developed over there, and he's kind of persisted throughout.
Well, it started originally because I took some shots at Chris Matthews.
Oh, yeah?
And that's how he started. I mean, Chris Matthews came on my show, Dan, when he was on MSNBC, premier broadcaster. And he was using the S word and stuff like this. I was like, my hand was on the button the whole time.
That cover is the best kiss.
So that's how it started. All right, that's one thing. People hear things. All right, our side question today. A guy writes, he's got a good answer. Where do I have it? Anyhow, that's getting PJs from Walmart is one of my favorite things. We didn't say buying them from Walmart.
Who's buying what from Walmart?
This guy thinks we were saying it's a fashion faux pas to buy PJs from Walmart. We're saying going to Walmart.
In PJs.
In PJs.
Yeah,
My goodness.
Yeah.
It's the proper attire.
Yeah. And his contribution is ripped jeans. Now, I'd say this. I don't fully get it, but I've seen a lot of women who look pretty attractive in ripped jeans.
Yeah?
I think, there's something about the jean that's a little bit different with it, so I can't condemn it. How about you?
It matters. There has to be a certain level of rippage to the jean, where if it's too much, it looks like a bit ridiculous.
Right.
But if there's slight rippage, I can accept it.
I would agree, except it's like a first world look. Really, people are running around hoping to have no holes in their clothing, and you're intentionally paying extra money to have them ripped.
So, Dom, while you're against PJs from Walmart, something I often do is I wear sweatpants out in public.
I hate the sweatpants. I hate this. No one looks good in sweatpants.
But even like Under Armour, nice-looking sweatpants. Looks like I just went to the gym even though I haven't touched one in 30 years.
So that means like 10 or 15 years from now, you'll be like a mob figure running around in a velour.
Not a bad idea.
Jogging. Well, you won't
Henry,
be jogging.
you 100% have a velour suit, don't
I
you?
wish I did. Maybe I have to get one.
I don't think
Kelly
Jim
Green.
Jordan does. He's got his wrestling togs. What was he, Dan? 80-1?
Something like that.
In matches?
Hell
Who
of a
beat
wrestler.
Jim Jordan?
Really?
I got to ask him, who's the one time that
Brock
he lost?
Lesnar.
Yeah. He is next. Congressman Jim Jordan, big issues, big guest. We'll get him on what is it the Congress should do now, the House. They've secured it, and the Senate should not get in their way, as happened in the past, right? What is it they should be doing? All right, that's all next here. Thank you, Jimmy Matthews, too. Check in on Talk Radio 1210.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. The holidays are almost here. Is your smile ready? Ready for all those pictures? Ready for all those holiday close-ups? Well, whether it's ready or not, those holiday pictures are coming. So if it's not ready, reach out to my buddy, Dr. Mike Veneria. As you know, my entire family goes to Dr. Mike. His level of care and commitment to dental excellence is simply unmatched. And if you're nervous to go see the dentist, don't be. Dr. Mike is a great guy. 2 locations to serve you in Cinnaminson and Woodbury. Great music playing in the office. Great staff who works there. They're terrific people. And if you need a complex dental procedure like a dental implant, Dr. Mike has been recognized among his peers as a master of dental implants for 10 consecutive years. That's right. So get that beautiful, healthy smile you deserve. And listen, my kids go to Dr. Mike. We all go to Dr. Mike. He's my dentist. People ask him all the time, does Rich really come here? Yes, he's my dentist, and Mama Zioli discovered him for our family. So reach out to Dr. Mike today, 856-786-2020, or veneriadental.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so stressed from shopping. I couldn't find anything.
Have you tried shopping jewelry television, JTV?
I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different.
JTV has thousands of jewelry styles, artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax?
Yes. Another round?
Yes.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Rich Zeoli. You know I travel a lot, right? I'm in New York, I'm on the road, I'm in Pittsburgh, covering the election. Well, you know I gotta have a VPN so I can secure my Wi-Fi connection wherever I am. That's why I use VPN from DuckDuckGo Privacy Pro. Privacy Pro is great. It includes the DuckDuckGo VPN, personal information removal, and identity theft restoration. 3 features for the price of 1. Listen, when you are on the road, or even when you're home, you gotta have your Wi-Fi connection secure. And with DuckDuckGo VPN, it's secured anytime, anywhere, at home, at work, abroad, coffee shop, hotel, wherever you are. And nobody's tracking your data. It's great. It hides your location from sites you visit, and because your connection is encrypted, even your internet service provider can't see your traffic. Look, do it today. Go to duckduckgo.com/1210. Duckduckgo.com/1210. Get a week on us, and it's only $9.99 a month. Duckduckgo.com/1210.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, the voice of the people.
What a day to celebrate. I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like I have a New Year's morning hangover I haven't had since college.
What you guys have done over there in this election is unbelievable. Having Pressler on all the time, having Laura Trump on, having Linda Kearns on. That stuff goes a long way.
From South Jersey to Delco, from Bucks to Montco, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware. We are the voice of the people. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT. On Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, Dom time. Big issues, big guests. It's been a while since we've spoken with Congressman Jim Jordan. By the way, I'm looking at one group putting up the senators up for election. that are Republican in 2026. And which ones are the biggest rhinos? They have John Cornyn at a 35% approval rate. But Joni Ernst at 42. Who's the 9%? Susan Collins only at 9% approval. All right. So Jim Jordan is a driving force, a big pro-Trump early on person. Driving force, of course, in the House. When there was time for this, wanted him to be Speaker. You may remember he's the head of the House Judiciary. But now Republicans in the House have the ability, with the Senate, at least on paper, being ready to go, to get some things done. Let's go to Congressman Jim Jordan. Congressman, welcome back. Congratulations on historic wins here.
Well, thank you. It's good to be back with you, and it's it's like Reagan. It's morning in America again. I mean, that was a landslide for President Trump. All 7 swing states, 130 states, popular vote, electoral college, landslide there. And I told someone the other day he did something Teddy Roosevelt couldn't do. So, amazing political comeback. Well, greatest in American history.
I didn't want to jinx it on election night, but come on, wherever you were with guys, were you saying, come on, we're really going to win the popular vote? How's that possible today?
Well, it's because we had something we very seldom get in American politics. You had back-to-back administrations, and the American people could do a direct comparison. And, President Trump versus Biden-Harris, and it was so much better under President Trump. I always say secure border to no border, safe streets to record crime, $2 gas to $4 gas, stable prices, record inflation, and we haven't even got into foreign policy. We haven't even got into these, the weaponization of these agencies against we the people. So all that combined, and then when you add to it the fact that they called, they went after President Trump, they called him names and called all of us names. We were fascist, racist, deplorable garbage, and it turns out American people don't like that. So. It was great to see.
When Biden said that at the time that it happened in the campaign, that was meaningful, without a doubt. So listeners a little bit concerned, and I'm sure you can tell us otherwise, picking off all these. The pick, I have to tell you, by having her on, Congressman, right before the election, Elise Stefanik as UN ambassador, that's like a role that was made for her. But we've picked off any number of good Republicans. So how do we replace them? They're kind of antsy about your majority there.
Well, yeah, we got to keep an eye on that, because we certainly want to keep the majority, which we will. There are, I think, 3 races still yet to call. I think we're winning in all 3. We're pretty confident in 2 for sure. And I haven't got a report today, but that's as of last night. So we feel good about that. We've already got the majority. Now we do have some good people. Heading to the administration, but I think we'll be fine there. And look, the President Trump got a mandate. The mandate is let's cut taxes, let's secure the border, let's reduce regulation, let's stop the weaponization of government, let's get to common sense energy policy, let's just go, and that's what we're going to do.
So in the House, explicitly, your role and the grand scheme of things, what can listeners expect are some of the major things early on you're going to try to do?
Well, we're going to continue our work on protecting the First Amendment, and what some of these big tech companies were doing, and if you remember the Zuckerberg letter we got, which talked about that. So we'll continue our work there. Obviously, we're gonna work on securing the border. Much of that legislation comes through our committee. We'll try to put a lot of that in the reconciliation bill.
Well, let me sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to ask the difference because, look, I don't know Langford. Seems like a nice enough guy. He's from Oklahoma. But the political move there of giving him cover by the 11th hour, letting them have a pretend border bill to be put in.
Yep.
What is the number one thing that has to be in a bill in your mind to make it solid?
You gotta build a wall and go back to remain in Mexico.
Okay.
You can't just because remember what they did on day one. They said no more building the wall, no more remain in Mexico. When you get here, you will be released, not detained. So those 3 policies have to change. And then there are things we can do relative to some of these other games they're playing with parole, with this program that has allowed Cubans, Nicaraguans, Venezuelans, and Haitians into the country, quasi-legal program they've done. those things can be changed too. But the key three fundamentals are build a wall, remain in Mexico while we evaluate your claim, and then, of course, if you get here, you will be detained. And I would add one other thing, is there's already been 1.3 million people who've come here saying they're seeking asylum. They've went in front of a judge, and the judge says, no, you do not qualify under the law. So 1.3 million migrants have already had their case adjudicated. Because President Trump's talking about deportation, that's where you start. You start with the criminals and the ones who've already been in front of a judge, and the judge said, no, you don't fit under the law. You don't qualify. That's where you start. And the left wants to talk about all these other issues, but that's where you start, and you send a message with that loud and clear that we're no longer going to have an open border like we had under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
That's the message I get from Homan and from the president, and hearing you say it, too, that listeners should expect. It's not going to be, as the left says, the military, 20 million people. It's going to take a while to get to 1.3, the criminals. And then we're told it might be workplaces, these employers that are exploiting 500 people at a workplace. Homan talked about that. Is that your sense? It might take a year or two of that.
Yeah, that's exactly how it should go, because that's common sense. And the American people say, well, of course, do it that way, and work with local law enforcement, work with the Department of Homeland Security is going to be, they're the main agency here. So that's exactly how common sense would dictate it operates, and that's exactly how I think they're going to do it.
Jim Jordan, how sanctuary cities? What's your take on what the Congress, starting in the House, I guess it would be, funding-wise, is that the way to go? What can you do to push back on sanctuary cities like Philadelphia?
The power of the purse.
Okay.
I mean, it's the power that the founders said that the legislative branch, and in particular the House, probably the greatest power the House ultimately has is all taxing and spending bills have to originate in the House of Representatives. And that's a good thing because we're the body closest to the American people. It's why we stand for re-election every 2 years. So use that authority. Say, if you're going to be a sanctuary city, some of this money that comes to your city via federal grants and everything else, we're going to have to re-examine. And it's amazing how, sometimes that gets people to have my dad used to call them, come to Jesus meetings with my brother and I, and they'll have one of those kind of get-togethers where they figure out, maybe we better not do this if it jeopardizes the funds that we've been getting.
Late in the campaign, well, fairly late, we saw FEMA in both North Carolina and Florida. We've had this woman fired, and I think rightfully so. She says at FEMA, though, this was more widespread. Don't go to the house where they think it's Trump or there are Trump signs. What's going to happen with that?
Well, there's a hearing next week.
Okay.
Now, that lady's been let go, thank goodness. But there's a hearing next week where the director of FEMA is going to be in to testify in front of the Oversight Committee. And we'll find out more. So the investigation's been started. And I think, you look at the email, it's sort of like it just was listed sort of as a kind of matter of fact. Don't stop at the houses with the Trump side. I mean, if this is not just a textbook example of government being turned and weaponized for political purposes, I don't know what is. It's like you can't get a clear example. So we've been talking about the weaponization of government, and Democrats, no. Well, this is one that is so stinking obvious. As if the others weren't as well, but the Democrats always want to push back on that. But this one is like, this is clear. You're going down the street, and if there's a Trump sign there, we're not going to help that house. We're not going to stop and survey it, talk to the people. Holy cow, that is as bad as it gets. So there's a hearing next week as part of this investigation.
Very good. I'm a former educator, teacher. I still do a lot of education work. People use me in media for that. Department of Education, people have said this, for the last 10 or 15 years. But I realize it's more difficult to get that out of there. There's some constituency in Congress. What has to be done to remove the Department of Education? And what do you say to those? I'm not one of them, but they say if that happens, oh, my God, look at what's going to happen to America's kids.
Look at what's happened to the state of education with the Department of Education. I mean, that's a pretty lame argument. But you're right, though. You're right. They make that argument. But it's like, come on. So, look, two really sharp guys, Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, are in charge of this trying to make government more efficient for the American people, getting a better return on your tax dollars from the government that's supposed to serve we the people. I think they're going to get in there. They're going to put together their report. Here's their recommendations, and then we go about implementing that. So my gut tells me they're going to say the Department of Education is a big waste of time, big waste of money, and let's do something different. And that's exactly what I think is needed. And remember, education is a state and local function. The last thing you want is the federal government even more involved in education. So remember, it was the Department of Justice that said we're gonna investigate moms and dads showing up at a local school board meeting. Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
So yeah, let's get the federal government out of this and let moms and dads, teachers, good administrators in local communities in their respective states run the education system.
Now, we've heard about a lot of these. I'll give you one other that we know Musk is looking at. NPR, we had the woman the other day that heads it say the truth gets in the way of important things to do, and she heads a news organization per se.
Yeah.
How hard is it? Let's just give listeners, because I know how mightily you bring your competitive instincts to this. You're trying every day. How hard is it to root out once one of these things gets in there, even if it's ridiculous and people don't want it? How hard is it? What is it that makes it so difficult to get out of there?
Well, Democrats typically, because you got to get the votes. But now we have control of all three.
Yes.
Now, of course, there's still the threshold, the 60 vote hurdle you got to get over in the Senate, and that is why you got to do as much as you can in this reconciliation vehicle, where it allows you, as long as you're dealing with reconciling budget issues, which getting rid of agencies would I believe qualify for that, certainly. You can avoid the 60 vote hurdle, use reconciliation. And so we plan to do that. We think it's important to reauthorize the tax cuts using that vehicle and address some of the big spending concerns and the inefficiencies that we know are going to be highlighted by Mr. Musk and Mr. Ramaswamy.
Parting question for you. So, Jim Jordan, we look down a year down the road and all. What is it that you hope to have done that listeners think and you think is a pretty good shot now that we have all three?
We got to reauthorize the tax cuts, get our economy moving again, get back to common sense energy, which gets our economy moving again, reduce the regulations on small business owners, which gets our economy moving again, and secure the border, which I think also gets our economy moving again, and then continue our work in defending the First Amendment and stopping these agencies from in any way, the deep state from in any way, going after the very people, we the people, who they are supposed to serve. That is our mission. I think that was clear from the mandate we got a week ago Tuesday, and that's what we need to focus on. And that's what we're going to do in the Judiciary Committee, and we're going to do in the Congress.
I like what you said today, and I wrote it down. You emphasized in the beginning and at the end the First Amendment. That's exactly right. Those other things we know about, we kind of forget about it, then they strike. So Godspeed with that, and thanks for always remembering us here in Philadelphia.
You bet. Take care. Thanks for all you do.
All right, Congressman Jim Jordan here on Talk Radio 1210. We get your reaction to that at 855-839-1210, AT&T, and Verizon Wireless. You just push pound 1210. All right, you heard a little bit there of the difficulty of getting these things out of. So it seems to be they're going to wait, follow protocol, let Vivek and Elon Musk and their report on this specify, I guess, trying to knock down some of the things. But they gotta at this point in time in this first year pick off some of these. I think the Department of Education's harder, but NPR, they gotta really cripple NPR. Sanctuary cities, that's even more important. The new police chief in L.A., who when he was the sheriff of L.A. County, I guess, whatever the county is there, would help ICE. He just got confirmed or is getting confirmed by the L.A. City Council, and he's saying, I'm not helping ICE do anything. So we have a good relationship with the police chief here. It's going to be interesting. I'm talking about people under the Kennedy administration who were actually in jail, criminals, and they wouldn't detain them, if they were charged at least, and they wouldn't detain them knowing they were here illegally. That was the mandate. No, we're not going to do that. Is Philadelphia still going to do that? 855-839-1210. L.A. says, no, we're not helping ICE in the slightest. How are they going to block ICE? I don't think they're going to be able to. And there are a lot of local law enforcement offices across the country who say they are going to work with ICE, and they can be deputized. There's language to do that. All right, so you heard Jim Jordan Give me your response to that. Say a year from now, with all three, the presidency, the Senate, which is the hurdle, and the House, what is it that will be done? You heard him say how to avoid the filibuster, the 60 rule with these financial things. NPR, Department of Education is going to be harder. I'm not sure the exact constituencies are going to make the arguments, oh, America's kids, what are we going to, the whole thing that we've heard. I think the short-term action is to put somebody in there who is going to move the Department of Education away from what Biden has done day after day after day. Tiffany Justice, Moms for Liberty, Ryan Walters, the guy we had on this week from Oklahoma, they would do that. All right, here's your opportunity, though, at 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. Hey, stay tuned. I can't tell you today, but we are working on a big event with the people who really delivered Pennsylvania to President Trump. Scott Presler, Jim Worthington, Linda Kearns, and a bunch of others, kind of our Mount Rushmore. We're working that up today. We got the go-ahead. I'll let you know maybe by Monday or so all the details on that. And I think you're going to enjoy it. We'll give you the date, where we're going to honor them, broadcast, the whole thing. 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board.
Does your broker say, we're different? We're a fiduciary. We only make money when you make money. A fiduciary duty puts the investing consumer first before the self-serving interests of the licensed professional. So the reality is, no broker is different. They all collect fees, even when you lose money. Does that sound like a fiduciary responsibility to you? Crash Proof Retirement is the only firm in the nation to record all financial meetings, providing a legally binding guarantee of Crash Proof Retirement's fiduciary responsibility to our investing clients.
Rob Lukens, Birdsboro, Pennsylvania. We saw our portfolio grow 15%. The interest we made through Crash Proof's investments, we keep it. I've actually never seen a fee in my life with Crash Proof. Never, ever in my life have I ever had that with a broker. Pick the phone up, call. It's simple.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Springfield Country Club, November 20th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers' rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. And love what you find.
With curbside pickup available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Free speech lives here. With Dom Giordano, weekdays noon till 3 on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
All right, it is Dom time. Welcome in, everyone. 855-839-1210. You heard Jim Jordan, your reaction to that. I know people think, hey, these guys had a majority. Why didn't they do something? The Senate, mainly. That's where it ends up. And even at this point, it's shaky, as you can see by them putting John Thune in. I mean, that's what it tells me. That's where we are. That's the difficulty we still face. I think there's going to be a lot of issues there through Trump and some of these confirmations even. I mean, Murkowski, Susan Collins, I don't see them letting through confirming Pete Hegseth. Certainly not Matt Gaetz. Are there others there? And the fact that Cornyn got all these votes, that's just disgraceful. Thune's one thing. As far as out of touch, we talked about this yesterday as it went down. All right, side question today, too. You got that? Which is... this whole National PJs Day, Walmart, people wearing them there. Something, a fashion thing that should be buried, not come back. How did it ever start in the beginning? That's what we're looking for. Try to come up with one that, is not said by as many people. Oh, my God. By as many people. Let's go to Robert in Ben Salem on Talk Radio 1210. I'm trying to guess where you're going to go with Matt Gaetz. I think you're trying to split the baby here. What do you say? Robert, are you there? Oh, silence. He must
One
be
of the most reliable.
Yeah, he might be knocking on the door doing a delivery here. Robert, he is. Boy, I got to put him on hold. I don't know. He's pondering what to do with Matt Gaetz, maybe. Let's go to Pat in the Northeast. Hey, Pat. Good afternoon.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, Pat.
I'm all for Gaetz. If you look at the last confirmation for Mac Garland,
yes,
and you see that every Democrat voted yes, and a lot of Republicans did too. Interestingly enough, the three guys up for the Senate, only one of them voted against him. He's already out. Scott was a no.
Well, what's the upside of Matt Gaetz? What was winning about to you?
I think that constantly Republicans try to be nice with Democrats.
No, excuse me,
Democrats.
Pat. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be nice. I'm trying to make my position clear, bring you to a point. It's not about being nice. You mean to say we don't have people that can effectively rid this, push back on this, without a guy who has all these enemies across the board, conservatives, great number of people in Congress.
I think right away they already are releasing a report that is from an anonymous source that he did all this stuff. I'm tired of that. I think that when they go into all these cities and try to remove all these people, that there's going to be people that are suing. I think Gaetz will definitely be fighting that. I think he's going to go in and say, hey, you're the DA of Philadelphia. You're not abiding by the law. We're going to take you to court now. I don't think that happens with every DA. I think it will with him.
Okay, it doesn't happen with everyone, but I think there are ample people out there, from what I can tell, who would push back on that.
I can't believe that, because I keep seeing, like, it didn't happen last time after the election in 2016. There were plenty of people. They never pushed on anything. They just let it go. So I think he's not going to let it go. When he was in judiciary and he had Garland on the thing, I thought that was one of the best questions. He kept questioning him and got Garland to basically admit that
he's good on that.
He's part of the system, part of the bureaucracy.
See,
and you have all these guys
you're
in there.
dismissing this report with this guy, though. This is going to come up during the confirmation. Are you going to say then it's a deep state or something like that?
No, I'm going to say that was always supposed to be kept secret, and now that he's out, it's suddenly he. I thought he resigned so that they can get him in his replacement and be able to vote by the time Trump's in.
No, he resigned because he's trying to stop off the report, as I would advise him to do.
Anonymously reported, though. That's always anonymous.
All right, well, we're going
to
see what he says under oath when he's up for confirmation. And do you really think he has any chance of being confirmed?
No, but I think what you're going to do from that, you're going to see all the Republicans that voted no against them, unlike the last one where it was a secret vote. Mm-hmm. And these people are all going to be primaried, and I think that's the end game.
Well, wait a minute. We're going to now spread disunity over Matt Gaetz, Pat. Really? I mean, if you said it with Pete Hegseth here, who's an outside-the-box choice, I'd say, yeah. If McCormick, for example, votes against Hegseth.
Like I said, I like Gaetz. I believe in what he's doing. I think he is a law guy.
What is he doing?
Anytime that somebody went after anybody, they went after him. Like when they went out, and so you're a teacher and you believe in something, and the next thing you know, you're not a teacher anymore. If you're a parent going to the thing, they threw you out. Not one DOJ went in there and said, hey, we're going to sue you for this because these people's rights are being violated. I think he will.
Well, we have people that will do that. You seem to look. I think you like it that he's going to burn stuff down and all that. Okay.
You got to burn it down because that's how you get rid of all the rats. The rats never leave the building until the place is burnt down.
Okay, and while you're doing that, realize as all this goes back and forth, that type of fighting, I'm telling you what you're going to do is be distracted. You're not going to do what I think this election was about, long-term reforms here that Trump has tremendous leverage to do.
I don't think that's true, Dom. I think that people actually went. They lived through the first administration. Yes. They saw how obstructed it was, and they said, you know what? A lot of the things I'm being told are not coming to fruition. Like the economy was better now than it is then. No, it wasn't. Like I know it isn't. You know what I mean? And everything that they started saying when they said that the post was a Russian distraction, no, it was actually real, and no pushback from anybody, including a lot of Republicans. They all went with it.
All right, so this is the destructive mode. Okay, I just don't see how I'm putting all my chips in with Matt Gaetz. He's not going to be confirmed.
I get it.
What happens
I
then?
get it.
You want an attorney general who's there just because of a recess appointment.
I want an attorney general that's going to go in and fight, and I think if he doesn't get in, the next one should be just the same. They should keep on doing that. They're not following the law. Do you agree? Do you agree that they're
many
not
of
following
these
the
things, absolutely, yes.
So it's always compromise. Okay, well, next time we'll try to get them. Next time we'll try to get them. Next time we'll try to get them.
You think Jim Jordan
is
Jim Jordan one of those guys?
I don't think he's one of the guys, but they would definitely went after him, right? He's a rapist. He's a this. He's a that.
But I mean, I don't see Jim Jordan being a Gaetz guy. So okay.
Why would you think Bolton and McCarthy are against Gaetz?
Well, obviously,
are they good Republicans?
I mean, he tortures McCarthy.
Were they against Trump too?
Yeah, well, wait a minute. Bolton's not even a question. We don't even go to him. He's way out. We know that. And with McCarthy is a rhino. But Gaetz has intentionally just tried to torture the guy too. So that's where it is. What's your fashion?
Yeah, because he's not getting the agenda down.
Well, it's more than that.
The one thing I never want to see again is some guy's underwear hanging out of the back of his pants.
That's a good one. That's a low rise too. Yeah, we had that one slightly already. All right, I made my point, but I'm glad he called in on it. He wants somebody like Gaetz in there, burn it down. That's what it's about. Is that what the winning the election was about, or are there not other guys in there that are not going to develop this battle over this that will actually do something? See, I see Gaetz as not a guy. Gaetz isn't Ron DeSantis, who, aside from his difficulties during the presidential campaign, actually comes at you and gets results. I don't see it. By the way, one little note there with the appointment. I don't know that DeSantis will do it, but I'm here to tell you I was incredibly impressed with Lara Trump from the beginning of this campaign, a year ago, 18 months ago, whatever it was, till now. I think she'd be great as the Senate pick. I hope DeSantis does it. I have no idea. I don't think Byron Donalds is looking to do that from what I hear. Byron Donalds wants to run for governor. And I guess if he got the Senate for now, then it's compromised. And I think he'd be a heck of a governor, and that's an executive position. Then he goes on from there. I think he's got to be under consideration as the VP choice moving forward. He has been huge star. Now, that's an appointment I'd like to see Trump make. I think Byron Donalds would be great as Treasury Secretary. But Trump's sense on that seems to, from what I'm told and the sense we get, to be more the Wall Street type of guys. He hasn't appointed yet, though, so maybe that's up in the air. But Donalds would be a home run. That's his background, finance. You've heard him. You've heard him multiple times with me, Rich, and others. He would be great. Okay, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Coming up, we're going to talk with Beth Ann Rossica, who, for Broad and Liberty and a multitude of places, covers our kids, covers education. I think that's what her doctorate is in. She's got another column up, her request now to the board of Children's Hospital about what the heck they're doing, making a lot of money, apparently, with surgeries on young kids around the transgender issue. Now, you know, in the past, I used to say, wow, if Children's Hospital says it, they're the best in the world. I can no longer say that. I just can't support them. This is too deep of a problem, what they're doing there. We'll let her explain. And if you missed it, I'll tell you about Central Bucks School District, what they're engaged in. But get in. Do you see the last card? You may agree with this point. The election was about this. You know that Gaetz is going to burn it down. And he's going to be a loyalist to Trump. Other people, maybe you're not so sure about. He's not going to be confirmed, though. You want to go that route and continue this throughout. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all that you have to do is just push pound 1210. You know, one of the biggest and healthiest sales of the year is back again. Rescue Natural Supplements Black Friday sale is here. Right now, Rescue is slashing prices on every supplement with discounts up to an incredible 80% off. Rescue has a wide variety of products to address your health needs, including immunity and cholesterol support, heart health, and natural energy enhancers. Grab huge savings on omega-3s, probiotics, and a lot more. And one more thing. The Rescue Black Friday sale will run the entire month of November. So shop today at res-q.com, res-q.com, or call a Rescue product consultant, 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Again, all Rescue supplements are up to 80% off during the entire month of November. So why wait? Shop massive savings on essential supplements. The place to go. res-q.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121.
Medicare is making important changes in 2025. Independence Blue Cross can help. Our Medicare Advantage plans include premiums as low as $0. Dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage. The deadline to enroll is December 7th. Visit ibxmedicare.com/radio. Independence Blue Cross offers PPO, HMO, POS, and HMO Medicare Advantage plans with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Independence Blue Cross PPO, HMO, POS, and HMO Medicare Advantage plans depends on contract renewal.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Pastor Brad Lacey here, First Baptist Church, Conshohocken. Join us Saturdays for the great message and be blessed. 5 a.m. right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Weather sponsored by Robert Half.
A storm system approaching from the west will keep skies mostly cloudy through the day today. High temperature below average at 52. Tonight, clouds continue with showers possible, mainly south and west of Philadelphia. Low 40 for the city, cooler in the suburbs. And Friday, increasing sunshine and milder with a high 58.
9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Our recruiting professionals utilize an award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Tom Giordano Show. Welcome in. Big issues, big guests. We always love talking with Beth Ann Rossica about all kinds of issues, usually around education, kids, schools. And she's been on the trail of what used to be the gold standard, beyond the gold standard, whatever that is. To me, Children's Hospital. She's with us here on Talk Radio 1210. Beth Ann, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I remember saying once when Children's Hospital said that little girl out in Delaware County, they could do the operation, size it from an adult heart or lung so that she would live. They were just godsend. And then it started to dawn on us what another part of Children's Hospital was engaged in. So what have you been trying to do to expose that?
Yes, always a great pleasure to be on the show, Dom. Thank you. So over at Children's Hospital of Pennsylvania, they have a gender and sexuality clinic that's actually been around for over 10 years. However, in the last many years, they have started doing sex reassignment surgeries on children, and they've also been prescribing puberty blockers and hormones for children under the age of 18 to assist them with a medical transition from one gender to another. And I've been trying to get information directly from CHOP and from their clinic about, the number of services that they're providing, the details of the services that they're providing. They even have a spot on their website under the Gender and Sexuality Clinic that says if you would like a copy of our annual report, click here, and it takes you to an email address. And I have requested the annual reports for the past 5 years multiple times. I sent numerous requests for comments, requests for interview with folks from that clinic, and they have all gone ignored. I did get one response back from their media relations person who basically said, we have nobody available to speak with you.
Oh, that's our favorite when Dan and I get something from somebody. When can you speak with us? We're not going to speak with you, and our job is to speak with the media. Yeah.
Right. So they're refusing to speak with me about the services that they're providing. And then this last couple of weeks, I decided to reach out to two of their board members. So CHOP has a board of trustees, their chairman and vice chair. I sent email requests to them, basically asking them, do they support these sex reassignment surgeries and the hormones for children? And were they aware that CHOP continues to refuse to speak to me about these matters? Neither of them returned my request for comments. And interestingly, the chairman of the board, Christopher Geisens, he is the CEO of Wawa, and the vice chair, Gregory Davis, is the president and chief investment officer of Vanguard. So these are local people. They're, doing, I'm sure, good things to help raise money for the good side of CHOP and all the wonderful things they do, to your point, to save children's lives every day. But to not answer questions and to not be transparent with the community about what's happening at CHOP is very, very disconcerting to me.
Yeah, my theory was there's a couple of people there that were activists and these others sort of get cowed by it. So let me give you a broader question just to project. With the results of this election, and Beth Ann, I don't know how much you have a chance to listen, but I wrote a column about 10 days, 2 weeks ago, of the transgender issues, particularly in sports, but this also, as being the sleeper issue. It was a tell for a lot of groups, move the needle on how radical Democrats, particularly Harris, are. Are we, maybe it's too soon, going to start to see some pushback? Do you see any signs? Central Bucks this week, they were more adamant as a result of this about what they were going to do, their school board. What are you thinking, or what are you seeing?
Well, I think there's two different issues here. And I think that for the average person, the average parent, the average voter, I think that the election results were absolutely a repudiation of this hardcore progressive movement, whether it's, men playing in women's sports, being in their bathrooms and their spaces, or what I consider the mutilation of healthy children through these surgeries. So I think that the average voter rejected these positions that the progressives have taken. Now, I think that the other piece that you mentioned about like school boards and other places, I do believe that where progressives have control, whether it's over a school board or whatever, they are going to double down.
Yes.
And they know that President-elect Trump has a plan to, do away with these Title IX rewrites. And he's talking about banning these surgeries and puberty blockers for children, which, oh, by the way, most of the European countries have already done this following a significant scientific study from a pediatrician in London, Hilary Cass, saying that these treatments are not safe. We don't have enough information, and we shouldn't be doing them unless they're in a very controlled clinical trial setting. So I believe that Trump and the country is going to move away from all of these things. But I do believe, particularly here in Pennsylvania, because Josh Shapiro is on board with all of this nonsense, and I believe that he and the progressive people in power are going to find ways to try to work around it.
But here's the point I was leading. I'm glad you just led right through it. Your mind goes right down to Beth Ann. Josh Shapiro, this is the way to unmask this chameleon, actually called, well, he would have been the moderate choice for VP. This is a tell. This guy is all over it. And I tell that when he gets nervous about stuff like this and uses the word folks every third word as a way to pretend that he's in your living room or something. You hear it. He is all over this. I don't think he'll give it up. I would go right after him. And I'm hoping Republicans don't lose the thread on this, because it's not only important politically, but for our kids to go after this guy right now on this, get the money, campaign. You might be able to defeat him, but at least you'll stop him from being this golden boy nominee in 2028.
No question, Dom. The first article that I did on CHOP a couple of weeks ago, I clearly spelled out how Shapiro has been behind supporting this movement from day one. I mean, he invites the folks from the CHOP Gender and Sexuality Clinic to events in Harrisburg. He put out a press release because there are 5 licensing boards. So psychiatrists and psychologists and social workers, they have to get a license from the state, and there are regulations around how they have to operate. And all 5 of these licensing boards adjusted and changed their policies and regulations to say that clinicians must use gender-affirming care in their practice. And if they don't, they can be disciplined. So let's say that you have a licensed psychologist who also happens to be a Christian and feel very strongly that there are only 2 genders and kids are not born in the wrong body. And this particular therapist is not going to say, oh, yes, you're a boy born in a girl's body, and this is how we're going to work. Under the current set of licensing standards, that person could be disciplined and lose their license.
Wow.
And Josh Shapiro put out a press release congratulating these licensing boards for changing these regulations. I mean, that's how hardcore he is.
That was 2 weeks ago at Broad and Liberty. Beth Ann, you wrote that?
Yes.
Because I want to get a copy of that. And again, it's political, but it's also our kids. This guy, this right now, while this is hot with people on the minds of people, I would be starting to push back and see what he does here. My guess is, to your point, I think he'll try to double down. He thinks he can be folksy with it. He can get away with it. I don't think anybody can get away with this. That's what this election told me. You cannot get away with this. Once people identify that you're actually doing this and or support it, that is big trouble for anybody.
No, I agree, Dom. And to talk even further about Shapiro, so one of the other interesting things is that, when all of this issue came up about the Title IX, from the federal standpoint, the Title IX rewrite, Pennsylvania last year, the Pennsylvania Human Relations Commission, they changed their regulations. Again, this didn't go through the legislature. Locally, this agency for the state changed the regulations to expand the term gender to include gender identity. So many school districts adopted this practice and policy of expanding the term gender to include gender identity because of the state regulations. So it will be very interesting to see what happens when President-elect Trump comes into office and rescinds through executive order these new Title IX regs when Pennsylvania has already adopted regulations to say to contrary to what they're going to do. So I think there's going to be a pretty big battle on the lines, and I think that Josh Shapiro, to your point, plans to completely double down and defy whatever he can.
Absolutely. That's his MO. I'm glad we share the same thing. So, Beth Ann, where did we find your work? Where should they go?
Yes, absolutely. Broadandliberty.com, spelled out. And if you type in my last name in the search bar, Rosica, you'll find all of my articles. Right now on the homepage is the most recent article I did on CHOP that came out on Monday. And Dom, just for your clarification, I just looked. October 9th was the date of the first CHOP article that I did.
Oh, yeah, I want to get that because you really have, we have to do this more. My mind just unlocked here with Josh Shapiro and exactly what came out of this election. This issue is a tell. It exposes a politician. That's why the guy Molson is so important, or Moulton in Massachusetts and being under fire. He just said, I don't want my girls to have to play against a male. Why can't I say that?
Exactly. Right. It's a normal, listen, 5-6 years ago, this would have been unheard of. Every feminist, every women's rights person would have been screaming from the rafters. But now, because this is a progressive, mantra, people are afraid to say anything.
Beth Ann, great stuff as usual. Thank you. Thanks so much today.
Thank you. Have a great day, Dom. Take care. Bye-bye.
Beth Ann Rosica. Yeah, we started with this recent thing in CHOP, but I'm glad we swerved into, look, Republicans, we have to do all your work. Get the money together right now. I don't know. The state Republicans, are you getting that? Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll keep that going. Dan's got something from the Central Bucks last night, or Tuesday night. Yeah, let's keep that going. 855-839-1210. Jeff Bartos will be in studio with us at 2 o'clock. Dan time next. Let me tell you about Dr. Bentz first. My friend and dentist, board-certified prosthodontist, Dr. Robert Bentz of the Bentz Dental Group in East Norriton. There's a lot of things I recommended with Dr. Bentz. So what we did is we sat down with him. We did like a 20-minute conversation. You're hearing some of it play out. What sets him apart from other dentists is the entire picture there and concept. For years, I've been going about 10 years, we used to kid him about all this technology. Take me upstairs. Here's my latest thing. Some of it is really simple stuff. Just the thing they use to, they put in your mouth when they're going to take a picture for your teeth and x-ray. It's so much more gentle than other dentists that I've seen. And when it comes to that 3D printer, that ensures consistency, precision the first time around. The staff are well-trained on all these things. They're also very well trained on what they know. Any number of people have, some people severe, some others anxiety, a little bit, oh boy, the dentist, what are we going to have to do here? And how to help you get over that so that you do know that going to the dentist is not going to be the worst chore in the world or anything like it. This cutting-edge, state-of-the-art equipment and care, the on-site lab, John, the artisan who works on your teeth. I've told you my own experience. I've told you with scads of listeners. There's one guy who was very tough on dentist, wrote this glowing letter that I read on the air, guy from Delaware, bicyclist, about Dr. Bentz. All you have to do is get that initial evaluation. The Bentz Dental Group, give a call now at 610-272-6949 or visit bentzdentalgroup.com, 610-272-6949.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Business owners can count on McCausland Lock and Alarm to secure and control access to their facilities. Enjoy peace of mind while their access control and CCTV systems provide top-of-the-line protection for your assets. Tom McCausland's wealth of experience allows McCausland to effectively protect all types of facilities in any environment, and their customer service is unmatched. Call today, 610-430-1500. 610-430-1500. McCausland Lock and Alarm, securing your business, securing your future.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business, with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Wawa's Hot Turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets, because Hot Turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-511-3535. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider, 800-511-3535. That's 800-511-3535. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-511-3535.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
It's Dan time
I can handle things. I'm smart, not like everybody says.
with Dom.
That's right. It's that time of the afternoon. Producer Dan takes over the Dom Giordano program for some Dan Time with Dom. And Dom, I want to continue the topic that you continued with Beth Ann. You kind of delved into the Central Bucks situation a little bit. And they had a school board meeting Tuesday night, and there's some fascinating audio from it, because here's a grandfather speaking out and bringing up Representative Moulton's words about the Democratic Party not being able to speak out against transgendered policies. And he's speaking out against this to the school board meeting, and the vice president of the school board wants to shoot back a little bit. And her words are really, I just want your reaction, because it's very Dom Giordano, I'll say. Take a listen.
Anyhow, I will end it with this. I think I'm very, very disappointed in this board. I think there's only one individual who voted for this policy. That was James Pepper. Election time will be coming up, and people will remember this. Thank you very much.
Karen, can I, do you mind? Okay, I have a couple of things to say after this public comment. As a district, as Dr. Yanni said, we want to create a safe and inclusive environment for all students.
This is the VP of the school board here.
At the present time, that doesn't mean we're not going to, but we don't have any trans girls participating in sports as of this moment.
Trans boys.
But we do have
boys.
A young woman on the CB East football team currently playing. As I think it was, is it Mr. Sobiak? You said that you played with girls on lacrosse in a club team. So we also have a co-ed volleyball team. There are lots of situations where there are boys and girls playing together in a co-ed situation.
Oh, it gets better, Dom. Take a listen.
So I think if this discussion about trans athletes is genuinely rooted in concerns for women's safety, why aren't we hearing objections to that team or another team? It seems that the issue might not be about safety, but more about unfamiliarity or fear of what you don't understand or know.
Here comes the pivot.
Meanwhile, currently right now in our district, there's a more immediate need to talk about our girls in the school. There's language that young men are directing at our women. Phrases like "your body, my choice" have been reported to us board members. It's deeply concerning. It's violent, aggressive, and disrespectful, and has undertones that we can't ignore. So I was hoping to hear people calling out that, if you've been aware of that.
God.
Maybe this is the first you're hearing that this
That's
is happening
the first
in
time
our
hearing
school.
it, Heather, and it's outrageous.
Right. And I think that every parent should take a moment to talk to their children, boys and girls. I know I'm a mom of two.
And it goes on. It goes
Okay,
on. And it
Dan,
goes on.
one thing, clip that, give it to Henry. 2, let's try to get her on. And lady, we're not just saying safety. You know me, Dan. I'm not going with the safety argument right out. No. I'm going down Broadway here. You know what my argument is? You're not going to come in and dominate girls' sports. You punks who ought to be in your own sector over here, coming in to do this, to take advantage. And we've seen the interviews, and some of these guys say, well, they're just going to have to train harder, like Leah Thomas and these others. My goodness. So don't lead with safety. That's my advice. Don't lead with safety. So lead with the fact you don't belong in here. It's unfair. They're words all the time. Let's lead with unfairness. That is, not only that, Dan, the dad, I feel for him as a dad. He said, well, we play outside, pickup teams and all that. Go and do that then. Not in a sport where there's competition, medals, awards, records, and all that. That's what it's about. It's about competition.
There's more audio that we'll have to get to tomorrow, where she continues. And apparently she posted a meme about Project 2025 and was exposed about it. And she talks about how a person invaded into her private space, being her private social media post, pulled that, and that was a violation of her privacy, turning it around on the...
Put that on the list
it's
for tomorrow.
Fascinating audio.
And Karen Smith is there, too. Everybody should know Karen Smith. She's only the second in command. Wow, this might be worse than Karen Smith. I don't know about that. All right, coming up, Jeff Bartos in studio with us. He ran for the Senate. He is hoping to be in the Trump administration. He was at our event last night, and he's got a lot to say about a lot of local politicians. Dave McCormick campaign, intimately involved with that, the Senate, a whole bunch of stuff. And we'll take your calls and get a winner. Oh, and the DA of Bucks County today here to tell us about catalytic converters and why they have to hold these events that I agree with. Senior advisor for the Trump campaign in Pennsylvania, Jeff Bartos in studio. Next on Talk Radio 1210.
The good and bad with home improvement projects. The good, you save a buck or two. The bad.
Kevin, there's no hot water.
So you move on to the car.
Kevin, what's with the car?
Good news, you can recover from these.
Kevin!
Well, most all of them. But when it comes to your retirement, a mistake can be devastating.
Call Joe Yakovich at JML Financial Group. He's been helping folks prepare for retirement for over 30 years. That's why he's able to correct your do-it-yourself problems before they're problems.
Get your complimentary assessment of where you are now and look at some of the retirement boxes you haven't even thought of.
Kevin!
You can't YouTube your retirement. Call Joe Yakovich at 856-925-6674 or visit jmlfinancialgroup.com. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Brokers International Financial Services, LLC, member SIPC. Brokers International Financial Services, LLC is not an affiliated company.
This school year, make the most of it for your child or grandchild and make the call to Kathy Ganna and New Hope Academy in Yardley and Doylestown at 800-300-0003. Give your student all the tools they need for a great school year. Let New Hope Academy transform your child's life forever by helping them now. For over 3 decades, New Hope Academy founder Kathy Ganna, a pioneering educator and entrepreneur who created the NHA model, has been utilizing state-of-the-art solutions to uncover ways where your child could avoid struggling and succeed. At New Hope Academy, there's a student-teacher ratio of 2-to-1, allowing students to deal with many disorders, including high anxiety, social and emotional, and including bipolar. Do not wait. Help your students start strong. Remember, only the best teachers can work at NHA. Call for a no-obligation tour and consultation. 90% of NHA graduates pursue a college education. Call Kathy today at 800-300-0003. Online, newhopeacademy.net. Call New Hope Academy today.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything. Have you tried shopping jewelry television, JTV? I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different. JTV has thousands of jewelry styles, artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax?
Yes. Another round?
Yes.
What do you call the NordVPN Black Friday deal, huh? The Block Friday deal. Because you block online threats. Black Friday, Block Friday. Get it? It's hilarious. Get the NordVPN Black Friday deal and block online threats now. NordVPN will encrypt your online traffic. Its Threat Protection Pro tool will defend you against web trackers, malicious websites, and malware-ridden downloads. Get the special Black Friday deal at NordVPN.com and enjoy safer internet daily. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Rich Zeoli.
President Donald Trump, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Your show is great. I've listened to your show many times.
Thank you, Mr.
Many times. You have a hell of an audience, by the way.
We got you, Mr. President. We got your back. People are excited to vote for you. And
if we win Pennsylvania, we win everything.
Rich Zeoli, weekday afternoons, 3 to 7. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app. On Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
It is Dom time, and recovered from Dan time today. We need more Dan times like that. That was a lot of fodder for talk radio there, pulling that sound. Jeff Bartos is in studio with us, senior advisor for the Trump campaign in Pennsylvania, and somebody who ran, I have to say, looking back on it now, you talk about the big names that actually had a mark in that Senate contest. That was ferocious, the money spent, etc. You had Dr. Oz, who was a household name almost, Dave McCormick, who's a senator, Kathy Barnett, who's still intimately involved, and you were in that scrum with them. What did you learn from that Senate campaign?
That raising $6 million is not enough.
That's a lie.
The number one lesson is just the humility that comes with watching people who can really raise dollars and have a network that, you think you have a good network until you run against Dr. Oz and Kathy and Dave and Carla Sands.
That's right. She just plunked down $7 or $10 million of her own money. My God.
It was very humbling. In fact, my wife did a lot of I told you so, and I just said, I love you.
There you go. Senior advisor for the Trump campaign in Pennsylvania. What would you say the Trump people raised in Pennsylvania?
Oh, gosh. We had so many different events. I mean, it's millions and millions of dollars. I don't actually know the full number because there were so many different entities that were raising. But what I would say is that wherever we went and whenever I called people to raise money, either for Dave or for the president and Senator Vance, people were thrilled, excited. We did a fundraiser at our house for Dave McCormick. Cheryl and I did. And it was the fastest, easiest fundraising I've ever done in my life. People were just, and this was in September.
Here's a heck of a house. That's what started.
Cheryl's a hell of a cook.
So McCormick now wins. What are your thoughts? Can you give me any argument? Yesterday, the vote, I want to get him on. I don't know if he'll reveal it. Why should that vote be secretive, particularly given the tension between Trump and Mitch McConnell? And Thune is not a Mitch McConnell, but, there's a sense of risk here with him.
Yeah, I think the Senate has a lot of traditions that go back a long time. They're fiercely independent about how they see their term. There's 6-year terms. A lot of times people serve many terms there. Now, I'm a big term limit fan. I think our senator-elect also is a big
Right.
fan of term limits, 2 terms.
2 terms, yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense. But there's traditions, and I think it's that tradition and that sort of that independence that the Senate has that's at the core of whether it's controlled by Republicans or by Democrats. They do hew to that independence.
But in this day and age, though, if you're a public official on something like this isn't now, it's no longer going to be something, the majority leader. Talk radio 20 years ago, I wouldn't have talked about it.
Right.
No big deal. But because we're waiting to see what this election was about, did the Senate not get the memo, Jeff, that this election, I'm not saying Scott had to be the nominee, but Cornyn, who is a rhino by any standard, did very well on the first ballot.
I think, so you make a great point. This election was all about sending a massive change through Washington and through our political system. The voters, I mean, Dave McCormick ran an amazing campaign here in Pennsylvania, unseated a 3-term incumbent. But at the end of the day, President Trump carried Pennsylvania with 2 points, which is a landslide in Pennsylvania.
Exactly.
150,000 votes or so. The mandate in Pennsylvania and across the nation was for massive change. And so I think if I was advising the Senate and how they went about this, I would have said, do it open. People demand transparency. You know, you asked for the job. It comes with transparency, and you got to take the hits if people don't like what you did.
I wanted to talk about this. Came down today. It's just one survey. You may even have better information. I'm looking at the percentage that the GOP got, Trump particularly, of Jewish voters. In 2016, it was 24, 30 in 2020, now 32 in this election. And in the swing states, Trump got 43% of self-identified Jewish voters in Florida, 37% in Arizona, 42% in Nevada, 45% in New York. We know he's a New Yorker. He did really well there. Listeners hear that, though, and you can put it into context because you are an expert on anti-Semitism, the things that are out there. What does it take, they say, to get Jewish voters to en masse move? And I know you were involved heavily with that kind of convincing with Trump. To me, I've seen this for years. This is really good. You're not overnight.
No.
What is the still objection maybe to Jewish vote? Is it inertia? Got to be with Democrats? Is it a particular issue?
Well, so there's a couple ways to look at this. I get asked this question a lot. I mean, so take someone who's a Dallas Cowboys fan. You and I can't understand how anybody could be a Dallas Cowboys fan. It seems totally foreign to us. But their father, their mother was a Cowboys fan. Their grandfather was a Cowboys fan. They're Cowboys fans. There's a lot of that. I'm a lifelong, my grandfather, my father, I think in this election, I spent the last 8 months of my life, really 60 hours a week on behalf of the president, and for the last 13 months on behalf of our senator-elect, making the following case. President Trump was the most pro-Israel president, most consequential and effective president in history for the U.S.-Israel relationship, and for any number of reasons, moving the embassy, all of that.
Let me ask that on that point, though. That it's kind of to me like the school choices with Latino parents or something. Should be a needle mover to me. Apparently, for Jewish voters, though, that's not a needle mover. Am I wrong?
Well, it is a needle mover. Now you have to almost segment the Jewish population into Orthodox, observant, conservative, and Reform. And so when you look at the more observant Jewish voters, that is a huge issue. I would say if you were ranking the issues fighting anti-Semitism, what we saw on campuses, what we saw in our communities, these cowardly mobs with their faces covered, terrorizing their fellow students and terrorizing us here in Philadelphia. We saw these marches all the time. That was the number one issue for many of the voters who turned from President Biden to President Trump in this election. That was probably the number one issue. The number two issue was his support of Israel and his unparalleled record of supporting the U.S.-Israel relationship. And then when you really break down the numbers, you go, okay, moving from 30% to 40% of the Jewish vote in Pennsylvania is about 30,000 votes. Dave McCormick is going to end up winning by about 25,000 votes.
Big. Yeah.
Huge. And Dave made a central focus of his campaign engaging the Jewish community. And he's going to be, I mean, Bob Casey has a terrible record, right, in terms of supporting the Iran deal, standing by Summer Lee, trying to walk both sides of the aisle, trying to equivocate, not calling for Liz McGill to resign. I mean, Bob Casey showed a total lack of courage over the last year plus, certainly over the last 10 years on these issues. Dave McCormick, moral clarity, right from wrong, and he nailed it. President Trump had this incredible record to run on, and those two factors, I think if you look at that vote, President Trump won by 150,000 votes. The Jewish vote was an important part of the coalition that he built here in Pennsylvania over the last 4 years. Dave McCormick winning by 25,000 votes, I think you can make an argument that the Jewish vote and his focus on combating anti-Semitism and supporting the U.S.-Israel relationship was a determinative factor in his win.
I would make the argument, too, though, isn't the elephant in the room in front of us with Josh Shapiro. I realize it's multifaceted, Jeff, that he would have upstaged her. She knows it. We all know it, right, if he were the VP person.
Yeah.
And he probably wanted assurances he wasn't going to be a flunky for her. But it's obvious vast numbers of the Democrat Party activists, politicos, they don't want somebody like that, not only because of his background, he's Jewish, but also he was the voice of almost anybody that went after the mobs on college campuses right here. He was eloquent in that direct. He did a great job on it.
He did, and I think it's shameful the way the activist leftist wing of the Democrat Party, which is the energy and the motivating factor in their party right now, and they have to fix that. I mean, the Democrats are going to have to fix that, and we'll see if they do or don't. But you're right. The campaign that was waged against our governor by the wacky left, calling him Genocide Josh and these other things, was just shameful. And as someone who's proudly Jewish, proudly Zionistic, I was offended by it. And it ultimately hurt them. I mean, it ultimately hurt the Democrats.
Your role now, what are you looking to do in the Trump administration coming off what we've seen on college campuses, et cetera? And I think it's the right thing if they do it, but it's also quite a niche moving forward, or niche for these guys. What are you, a niche guy or niche?
I like niche.
Thank you. All right. Make sure Jeff Bartos gets booked every week here from now until do you guys change your mind? How do I have two producers?
Niche. It's 100% niche, Jeff.
Yes, exactly. Come on.
It's niche.
They got one word they're trying to be educated sounding on it, like PhD producers here. So, Jeff, what are you looking to do with
It'd be an honor to serve. I have talked to the campaign at sort of a high level about there's, how can I help contribute to the effort to combat anti-Semitism, both on our campuses, in our communities, here domestically. There's all sorts of things that our Department of Homeland Security and our State Department can be doing about people here on student visas that shouldn't be here if they're anti-Israel or if they're And I think it's important to note, anti-Semitism really at its core is anti-West, anti-American, anti-Judeo-Christian values. This goes way beyond the Jewish community. And so our State Department, our Department of Homeland Security has a role to play. Our Education Department, the funding of these universities has a huge role to play. And so something that works with the State Department or with the White House on combating domestic anti-Semitism or international anti-Semitism, I think is important for the reason, as I said, anti-Semitism is really anti-Americanism, anti-West, anti-Judeo-Christian values, and we have to stamp that out here in America.
You're close to this. I asked every guest. You probably noticed, too. The personal part is what I want to get at. After October 7th, didn't you think there would be, at least nobody would be saluting this, allowing this, what went on college campuses? Maybe they feel they can't outright. I saw this as a Sister Soldier moment with Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
If you can't now go after this, that's horrible. But not only that, doubling down after a few days of what almost saying, well, there are two sides to this.
Yeah. It's motivated everything I've done since about 9 a.m. on October 7th.
Okay.
I called my first call after speaking to both of our girls who one was in Texas, one lives in New York. My next call was to Dave McCormick. He was the first person I called outside of our family, and I said, I'm here to help. Whatever I can do, you have to win. It's very personal. It's still very painful to see neighbors and students and fellow citizens marching for Hamas, marching for Hezbollah, burning the American flag, burning the Israeli flag, wreaking havoc, violence. It's the most un-American thing I've seen in my lifetime, I think. And getting back to that theme of these are people who hate our way of life. They hate America. They hate the West. Watching this happen has been, I wake up thinking about it. I go to bed thinking about it. I spend my day working on it. And it's something I'm not going to stop working on until we fix it.
Well, I hope, if you need a reference, I know the personnel guy only at the White House now. I will definitely say this is much needed. Sometimes the right thing and the politically right thing do come together here. And it's Josh Shapiro and I don't agree on much, but on this, he was very, very good.
And I would say thank God President Trump won. Thank God Dave McCormick won. And I think better days are ahead.
Where did we find Jeff Bartos, Jeff? Where did we go?
Jeff_Bartos on X. That's probably where I spend most of my time. So Jeff_Bartos. X has become this wonderful platform for free speech. So spend a lot of time there.
All right, Jeff, thank you. Thanks very much. Hang around. We'll say goodbye here officially because right now Dan takes over a bit.
Stick around for this, Jeff.
We have the official goodbye. That's right.
Money Melody.
This is all Dan. I have nothing to do with this. All right, Dan, what do you have today? What are we playing for first of all?
Dom, today we're asking for bad fashions through history. All-time
Right.
bad fashion, something you don't want to see return. And when I think of a celebrity, a singer that is the epitome of bad fashion, this is the person that comes to mind. I hate to say it. It goes from the glasses to the glitter to everything that was worn on stage. Dom, we want to know who today's cover artist is. Here today singing Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, an all-time great, but also, in my opinion, the epitome of bad fashion. We want to know the singer, Dom. Cover song. Take a listen.
I have to challenge this. It's just iconic. All right. You didn't have to whisper to me today.
I just wanted to make sure you knew who it was.
Yeah.
All right. Is it
All
too easy that
even
you
wanted to get in
there?
easy
one.
Yeah, Henry's saying
that was a fast break layup here.
I mean, should I do the other one? I had MC Hammer queued up. I mean, I could run MC Hammer.
The rules of the
I want to throw some
contest are.
respect towards Jeff Bartos and play a good musician, though. So.
Okay, all right. Hit us with that. 855-839-1210. Letters to Trump, the big coffee table book. That's the prize again today. 855-839-1210.
If you depend on Social Security, your retirement lifestyle may be at risk.
Jim O'Neill, Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania. I have my doubts about where we're going as a country. Much of our Social Security funding may dry up in 7 years, 10 years, which is not good for the citizens who paid into that system. Take your money and put it into a crash-proof retirement system. With the crash-proof retirement system, I can supplement or even replace Social Security and not deplete my nest egg. It's guaranteed. This year, I have earned over 14%. We do not have to pay any fees, and you cannot lose it, which in this day and age is pretty incredible. I have absolute peace of mind because I am protected by crash-proof retirement.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Springfield Country Club, November 20th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Upgrade your bathroom with Emmons Remodeling.
We offer custom design, build, renovation services to fit your style and budget. Our designers work closely with you to create the perfect space for you and your family.
Experience luxury and functionality with the expert team at Emmons.
So call us at 856-885-6677. Again, that's 856-885-6677 or visit us at callemmons.com. From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. Your boxes are wrapped and the gifts are in. Our employees are ready. Let the holiday ride begin. Let's start with the price. It's easy to manage when you ship with the reliable USPS Ground Advantage. In just a few days, it's sure to arrive. We're working nonstop to keep the spirit alive. USPS Ground Advantage, the affordable and reliable shipping solution for the holidays. Visit USPS.com/advantage.
Howard Eskin here, and get game day ready at your local PA Fine Wine and Good Spirit store with the original Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey for $3 off 750 milliliters and $2 off Jack Daniel's Fire, Honey, and Apple 750s, or a 4-pack of Jack and Coke or Jack and Coke Zero Sugar, now ready to drink in a can for $1 off. Jack Daniel's, born for the tailgate, and please drink responsibly.
Whiskey Specialty, 7% ABV, Jack Daniel's Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniel's and Old Number 7 are registered trademarks of Jack Daniel's Properties, Inc. Coca-Cola is a registered trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
Got a shopping list a mile long but need to charge your EV? No problem. Now you can fill up your cart and your battery at the same time. With a convenient network of Shell recharge stations at some of your favorite shopping spots, you can get everything done in one trip. Shop for groceries, clothes, and more while your EV charges up. And never miss a beat. Shell Recharge. Download the Shell app today to find the nearest Shell Recharge location. For more information on locations and how Shell measures reliability, visit shell.us/Shell Recharge.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi-8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where's all the money gone?
Show me the money. Maybe we should give a clue that will throw them off here, Dan. No, I don't think we can do
Is
that.
it really that easy?
Yes, this is
Too
about
easy.
your easiest of ever. I mean, usually, sometimes I have to think, oh my God.
Is it do you know the version, or is it the voice? What was the clue that gave it away?
Yes, it's everything. The voice, the clue. I don't know the version. Sure, yeah.
The version's fresh to me. Apparently, it's a pretty popular version. Well, it's
Yeah,
only got
okay.
2.5 million views on YouTube. I don't know if that means anything.
Okay, let's hear the clue.
We're looking for the cover artist. I'm the cover artist today.
All right, let's go to Lori in Prospect Park on Talk Radio 1210. Lori, who's covering that song?
I think it's Elton John.
Oh, no, Lori, you're wrong. Sorry.
Lori, what gave it away to you? Come on, it wasn't that easy.
As soon as you said big glasses and funny clothes, I was dialing,
okay.
and I can't believe I got through.
Nicely
and then,
done.
And I never even heard it. I never even listened to the song. I just heard the clues. So
All right,
that was
nicely
right.
played.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited doing that book. It looks
Oh,
amazing.
you will love it. It's a great coffee table, great conversation piece. I'll put you on hold,
Thank you,
Lori.
Lori.
Well, I guess you can put it there. You might have somebody over. Wait a minute. Letters to Trump here. Thumbnail. I wish I remembered the page, but it's Oprah. I weep at the thought that the two of us would be running for president together. When it was talk, he'd be president, she'd be vice president. And Oprah today, he's evil, I tell you. Give me $1 million. My God. All right, 855-839-1210 is how you get on board. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all you have to do is push pound 1210. All right, we're looking for, we've been talking about a number of things. Matt Gaetz at the top, Pete Hegseth, how that's playing out today. The side question is, hit us with some fashion statement that should stay dead and buried, coming off the idea of today's National PJs Day, and Dan added, people wearing it to Walmart. So it could be not just the clothing, but the whole effect. We've had some wild ones, some great ones on this. We're going to talk with the DA in Bucks County in a few minutes. I salute them for doing this, and it's mainly being triggered by Philadelphia again, I think. Having to have an event where they show up and they do something with your catalytic converter to kind of code it to make it less likely that it won't be taken off and sold. I don't know how that exactly helps, but it's multi-pronged. And I'll ask her a little bit about Bucks County and what she's doing. Let's go to Robert in Ben Salem on Talk Radio 1210. Old Reliable back with us. The geyser did not. Was it geyser or geyser? I say geyser, Dan. You guys better not say niche. Go ahead, Robert.
How you guys doing
Good.
today? My apologies for
That's
earlier.
okay.
Something
That's
came
okay.
up. I understand your reticence with nominations like Noam and Matt Gaetz, but I'm thinking about it, and I want everything, including the laptop, to come out. And I don't think anybody is better for that job than Matt Gaetz. And despite crazy eyes Kristi Noem, the things that have come out about her, I know that she'll be effective in her job on the border. And the people that are going to have the most problem with these nominations are the Democrats and the media. And I got to be honest with you, Dom, I don't give a damn about them anymore.
Well,
I don't care
but
what
wait
they
a minute.
think.
Or here's my point. Are we putting the Republicans under pressure here? And some people even think Trump is doing that for another reason. We want to get Pete Hegseth through. How many times are they going to go to the well? If they go for Hegseth, who you and I think is great, but there's going to be a lot of flack there. You know what's going to happen in the confirmation, right? That report is going to be entered in. The FBI has it, et cetera, from the House. And he'll be under oath. Is he still going to be able to just deny all those things, even though, again, the minutia of this, are there witnesses coming forward then? Do we really want to go through that? Is he worth it? Robert, it's hard for me to understand there's not some other people there that are going to push this agenda and be loyal. You made a mistake with Sessions, and when he coughed it up, I get it.
Yep.
But there's not other people that you can trust in there to push this.
I think that if there was anything to what was on Gaetz, the FBI would not have declined to press charges. Number one.
Okay.
Number two, I don't think he's afraid of the fire that he's going to take. And number three, a lot of the outrage against him are people that just hate him and hate what he's going to do. And as I said, I think the punch of the media is decreasing. And when we do things like this and make the media come out, it just keeps on that narrative that the media cannot be trusted. I think the media is digging their own grave, and I think that guys like Gaetz and Noam are going to hand them the shovels.
Well,
You know what I
Noam, I want to be clear, with Christine Noam, I'm 5. I told you how impressed I was with her handling a hostile meeting, doing all that. The only thing I'm concerned about is I don't quite get it, her for Homeland Security. You know what I mean? She just doesn't seem to have any connection to that in my mind. She's an executive. She's done good things. So I'm okay with it because there's not really anybody with Homeland Security that I have at top of mind. The dog thing and all that, I don't think people are going to care about it when it comes to this.
Unlike last time, I think that Trump is going to pick people that, A, he knows will do the job, and B, poke the left in the eye. And that's what Gaetz and Noam does. I don't see any controversy with Hegseth, but I don't want to take too much time, for my side question, I'm going to go with bell-bottom jeans. Now, a lot of fashion things had a practical side to them. I saw no practical side to bell-bottom jeans. Every time I tried to play football in them, I wound up tripping.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I had a pair. Dan's out of the room, but I'll tell you, I had a pair of orange bell-bottom jeans back in the day.
Oh,
orange!
You should have had an orange bell-bottom leisure suit, Dom.
I had a rust-colored one with bell-bottoms. Yes, rust-colored. Yes. Thank you, Robert. That's the only color I can tell you. Rust-colored. And a chain. Where is that chain? We're going to bring that back.
Please tell me there's a picture of you and all that somewhere.
Yes, I think we have it. I have to get those out. Yeah. Well, I did put up one. We put up one where I look like David Cassidy.
Right.
Yeah,
Who could forget that one?
And that was later on. That's after Roe. I mean, prior to that, the orange. Where are those orange bell-bottom jeans? I think they were a 32 waist then, too.
Oh, man.
Sure, yeah. 855-839-1210. You got to get in. Coming up, we're going to talk with the DA out in Bucks County. They held this big event for catalytic converters. Maybe they'll do it again. Maybe others should. Is it that big of an issue? And I'm going to ask her about a story that Blaze Media has today. I know it was over in Abington, at least. And I know that's not in Bucks County. Pat Malloy's told us about this. These Chilean gangs, and this is a Chilean gang, they had a sophisticated theft ring. It made national news because they were allowed out on bail, and they aren't bail eligible in New York, but they got out. And what they did is they entered Florist in Woodbury on Long Island, cut through the roof, and then cut through a wall connected to Elegant Jewelers next door. They left without taking any merchandise, but Nassau County Police told WABC they used radio jammers to hide the alarm system. The problem with that is they jammed 911. That's what they're afraid of. That's what these people are doing. And we've had them right here in Abington, et cetera. And I just, these are from countries we haven't heard of before, pretty sophisticated gangs targeting wealthy communities. These guys, and they're out. I mean, just the sheer outrageousness coming to our country and jamming things where 911 calls they think could have been interfered with this. These guys got to be put away. I wouldn't even deport them because I'm afraid they're going to come back. Put them in jail for life. I mean, just the recklessness of this. Imagine the destructive of this and the cavalier attitude in New York that they're out. All right, 855-839-1210. Let's talk Captain Chucky's for a moment. The holidays are around the corner. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve parties, hosting a family, going to work and family events. Simple. Stop into your nearest Captain Chucky's. Pick up that Smith Island crab cake jumbo lump. Still have time. Tonight's game, right? Don't forget the mega colossal crab cakes. Stock up right now. There's a Captain Chucky's you can hit on the way home or go out there and do it right now. Perfect time to check out, too, all of their offerings. They have those homemade sides, desserts. Get a tray or two. Captain Chucky's, several choices of breaded, non-breaded crab cakes. Literally a crab cake for everybody. Desserts, soup, sides, appetizers. They use only the highest quality ingredients. Ergolf shrimp, a huge hit. It's always wild caught, never farm raised. And my favorite, those delicious Dom rolls. Got to have them for the game tonight. I haven't gotten Henry's prediction. We'll get that before the show is over. Captain Chucky's, too, location near you. If you've never been, just go to WeLoveCrabCakes.com, WeLoveCrabCakes.com. If you're headed to the shore, go to CaptainChucky'sAtTheShore.com.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, the voice of the people.
First thing I want to say is a shout out to you guys. You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
You guys make my morning every morning. I voted Trump, my whole family. I obligate my whole family to vote Trump. I am so excited. Like, tears are coming out of my eyes. Like, it's a real thing. I love America. I love this country.
From South Jersey to Delco, from Bucks to Montco, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, we are the voice of the people. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Don't miss the Education Show with Dom Giordano every Sunday morning at 5:30. Find out how you can help your child or grandchild succeed. Sponsored by New Hope Academy.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
Weather sponsored by the Piazza Auto Group.
A storm system approaching from the west will keep skies mostly cloudy through the day today. High temperature below average at 52. Tonight, clouds continue with showers possible, mainly south and west of Philadelphia. Low 40 for the city, cooler in the suburbs. And Friday, increasing sunshine and milder with a high 58.
Get the Honda of your dreams during Happy Honda Days with financing as low as 0.9% APR on select new models, like the capable Ridgeline. Visit Piazza Honda of Philadelphia, Langhorne, Pottstown, Reading, or Springfield. Online, piazzahonda.com.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, it is Dom time, and for a while we've been trying to get the DA on from Bucks County because of timing and all that. It's a busy job. We're thrilled to have her with us today because they held a catalytic converter event that is a sign of the times, and it's a great idea to do it. But it's also a sign of how prevalent this is. Joining us is the Bucks County District Attorney, Jennifer Schorn, here on Talk Radio 1210. DA, welcome in. First time around having you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Dom. It's a pleasure being here.
Well, I commended this event. We talked about it because, we have countless calls on this stuff. How prominent is it that you have to do it, and what exactly did you do at the event?
Yeah, no. So about 2 years ago, when I would attend the crime meetings, I would hear the same theme over and over again amongst Bucks County and Montgomery County investigators, and that was the drain in resources because so many individuals were falling prey. They were victimized in that their catalytic converters were cut right out of their vehicle, oftentimes while parked in their driveways. Some were audacious enough the thieves to cut out catalytic converters while individuals were shopping, but more often than not in residential communities. And it was every department, and in both Bucks and Montgomery County. And, it was so brazen, and it was clear that something had to be done, that this was a more organized than, we initially believed. And lo and behold, I work with some great people, and, 37 different agencies joined our investigation, and we put it in our investigative grand jury, and we were able to identify that this is, in fact, a corrupt organization, and we shuttered a business in Philadelphia because they were so brazenly dealing with these stolen catalytic converters for the precious metals that were contained within the converters.
I did see that. So what did you do?
2006 Honda Accord in
Yeah,
there?
exactly. What did you do exactly at this event then? You bring people out there and you do what with a converter?
So it's really cool, and it's kind of basic on one hand, and it was a wonderful opportunity. Thompson Toyota, I got to give them so much credit. They gave us their beautiful bays to use, and my auto theft unit, along with the Pennsylvania Auto Theft Prevention Authority, Pennsylvania State Police Auto Theft Task Force, the Pennsylvania Auto Crimes Investigators Association, and the Attorney General's Office all joined forces, and literally individuals would register, and their vehicles would go up on a lift, and they would etch a serial number, a unique serial number, onto the converters in their vehicle so that they could be, it's clear that if someone were to receive this later, that it was clear that this is a stolen item, but also it allows it to be entered into a database and can be tracked later should, in fact, that individual, that car owner, become a victim of a catalytic converter theft. So it's a deterrent. It's signaling to the criminals out there who think they're going to just, get away with such brazen, criminal activity that, stay away, stay out of Bucks. You're going to be caught. But it allows the investigators also to track and trace the converters if, in fact, they are stolen.
So this would be visible. Somebody then gets under trying to get the catalytic converter. They would see this?
Yeah, they would see it. Now, it wouldn't take much for them to kind of cut it out. But then again, how could then someone dealing in scraps then claim that that was not evident, that this was stolen?
Yeah,
So,
is that where your ability with this, because this is an awful crime, and right in your driveway, it's brazen. These shops that are involved, do you have a sense they're throughout the suburbs? Are they mainly in the city of Philadelphia?
They're throughout. They're throughout the suburbs, Philadelphia, the collar counties, and New Jersey. And, sadly, it's such a plight. I mean, it happened to my niece who was attending college in the city of Philadelphia. It happened to another family member in neighboring Montgomery County. And so many people I know, let alone the number of victims we have identified. So it's really, and unfortunately, the crime initially was a very low-graded offense. You steal a car, it's a felony. You steal a catalytic converter, which makes your car inoperable, essentially. You can't safely operate it. It was a low-level misdemeanor. So I think they did a cost-benefit analysis, the criminals, cutting them, and thought, all right, so maybe I get probation. Maybe it's going to take 3 times before I actually serve some time, or 5 times. And we're also, changing that. We're trying to, work to make sure there's enhanced penalties because it's just, it's a plight on our community and on our law enforcement resources.
And it's also, and I'm sure as a DA, if I were sitting in there, when I see brazenness as a DA or as somebody enforcing the law, I'm really going to go after that because I know what that leads to. Once you have criminals that are brazen to do this type of stuff, they're going to do other things. They're just not going to stop with that. They're going to ratchet it up.
You're so right. You're so right. That level of recklessness, and it's not, oftentimes it does go hand in hand with people who are clearly abusing substances. So you don't know if they also pose a physical danger to someone who may come upon them, to your point. It's a great point, Dom. Yeah, it's the brazenness. Yeah, it's scary, and it's we're not going to tolerate it.
How quick are people in and out? In other words, I'm sure this was a great service, but is it relatively easy to do? And might you do some more of these? I think everybody would like to take a shot at this.
I would love to do more of these. So the actual theft of the converter, they can do in under 2 minutes. Slide under your car with the tools they have, cut it, and be out in under 2 minutes. And the etching, aside from loading it on the lift, and it's pretty easy to do. But we did have to have people pre-register because of the limited number of kits to etch the serial number on. But we welcome, if there is anyone interested in partnering with us, like I said, Thompson Toyota was just spectacular. They were wonderful partners, and we're non-paying customers, and they're doing this and allowing us to use their bays when they could be using it for profit. And they were great. So if there are other partners that would work with us, we would schedule these events, throughout the county.
We'll put the word out on that. I'd love to come to one and see what you do. One other quick area, too. We're talking with the Bucks County new district attorney. I just read before you came on, Pat Malloy over in Montgomery County came on a couple years ago with a Chilean gang, I believe it was. In New York, this sophisticated gang, people here illegally, broke into one building to break into another next door, and they were using radio jammers. And the point is the recklessness again. In New York, they're concerned with 911. Are you seeing anything like that out there, high-end communities? That's what was happening in Montgomery County. How about in Bucks County?
We're aware of that technique that could be used by criminals, and actually some businesses are having backups to their backup security systems, because if they're Wi-Fi based, it's a concern. We have yet to identify it in Bucks, but we're aware of it. But really great point you're raising. And to your point, the things that happen on the street level, like the converter thefts, don't always appear to be organized, but these things are sophisticated, organized enterprises, and you got to cut the head off the snake. You got to go up the chain and get the people who are running the operations, in addition to the street level thieves committing the crime. So I actually remember the case you said about Pat, and the case you said. I do recall learning about it, and it was great work.
One other area for you, and we do welcome you back anytime that you have an issue, something like this you want to talk about, and that is shoplifting. Philadelphia's gotten more concerned. We've had on the police commissioner and others. I think the first thing was to realize this, again, is a menace. You can't let this go. Not that Bucks County ever did under your predecessor. He was great, too. What can you tell us about shoplifting in Bucks County at this point? The career criminals who commit shoplifting crimes, it's clear that also is an organized operation for many. You're not talking about someone who's swiping, something right off the shelf and running out. You're talking about the brazenness, again, of people walking into stores and literally swiping the entire shelf into a bag and walking out, not realizing, hey, in Bucks County, you're going to get arrested, and you may face jail time, certainly if you have prior convictions. So I really am proud of the men and women in our law enforcement community for continuing to respond and, encourage all of our retailers who we have great partnerships with, the major retailers, continue to call the police. We have some investigative things set up surrounding major retailers that help us identify the perpetrators, and they will be prosecuted. And if that's not the best deterrent, I don't know what is. But you got to continue to prosecute, and you got to argue for penalties that, that hurt, so that, they know not to do it in our community. Absolutely. DA, thank you very much. And please keep in touch with our people anytime. If we get somebody else, an auto dealer, we'll let you know. I'd like to see more of this. This is it's not just a nuisance, because if you come upon this, it certainly can be more of it. Really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you very much, and you have a great day.
All right, Bucks County DA Jennifer Schorn here on Talk Radio 1210. Thanks to Henry, because there was a lot of delays and back and forth over this. And Dan, you had a catalytic converter issue, right?
Yeah.
You've had, it's just the most.
Twice.
First of all, the environmentalists, we need catalytic converters. All right, we fought that battle. But then twice.
Yeah. Yeah, the first time it was halfway sawed off,
right.
But apparently they must have been scared away or something because the saw didn't make it all the way through, and they were able to patch up the pipe that led to the catalytic converter. Second time, they completely took it away, and yeah, that was the downward spiral of my 2006 Honda Accord, that poor baby.
All right. And these don't have to be high-end vehicles.
My Honda only lasts till 160,000 miles on. There should have been another 300 on there.
Exactly.
Shot down in her prime.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Henry.
855-83. You know, the first thing I look for in a vehicle now, dependability, of course, it's size. I'd like to have it even smaller. I'd like to drive to work in something like 5 feet by 5 feet just to be able to park.
They still make smart cars?
Yeah, I need something because the parking
Mini
here
Cooper?
is unbelievable. How do people drive into Philadelphia every day they're working, think they're going to park in the street with an SUV?
Or
Who are
those
those
giant
people?
trucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where do they park?
8-foot beds. Yeah.
Yeah, they get into the media lot and they get towed. Just an inside lesson there. All right, coming up, it is the lightning round here on Talk Radio 1210.
They call me the Bubble Wrap Mom. Hey, Dawn Stensland here. Yeah, I'm always concerned about safety and privacy, but it goes well beyond being just a protective parent. And that's where DuckDuckGo's Privacy Pro comes in. It's actually a 3-in-1 subscription service. And yes, it includes DuckDuckGo's VPN, personal information removal, as well as identity theft restoration. All three are pretty incredible, but I love the VPN because it gives me that extra layer of online protection. So the other day I was getting my hair done, and you know how usually it'll come in not a secure connection. I don't have to deal with that because, of course, DuckDuckGo's VPN secures your Wi-Fi connection anytime, anywhere, at home, work, in the coffee shop, or, you know, if I'm getting my hair done. So I hope you check it out right now. Get an exclusive 7-day free trial at DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Then you'll pay $9.99 a month. Again, DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Tell them Dawn sent you.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
I love this song! I love nachos.
Loving everything? You might be buzzed.
You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Miss any of the Dom Giordano program? Download and follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
Yes, and Dom's Lightning Round is brought to you by Cherry Hill Volvo. Right now, lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. See store for details. They always go the extra mile for their customers because relationships matter at Cherry Hill Volvo. All right, Henry, I didn't do it with FanDuel. Do you have the Eagles tonight, or what's your big play?
Henry's screening calls right now, Don. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what's
right.
your big play for FanDuel, Henry?
Yeah, what's a big play for FanDuel
He's coming. He's coming here.
He's
got
coming
the
here. Wait a
headset.
minute. Write
Take
this down at home.
the overs in rushing. Saquon
Okay. Oh,
and
that's
Kenny
right.
Gainwell. If they
Oh,
offer
wait a
Kenny,
minute.
take it too.
Yeah,
Kenny's overs have been hitting every time because Saquon's gotten so much wrong.
How much is the Saquon over?
I don't know off the top of my head or on
It's
either,
got to be
but
over 100, right?
I mean, if it's 100, I'd still take it.
You would.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, weird things
I
can
mean-
happen. I'm not. And Kenny Gainwell, I'm betting on him.
I've
I
been
don't
taking
know.
Kenny Gainwell's overs a lot the last few weeks, and it has been hitting every
Like,
single
that'll show
time.
up and not say something stupid at halftime. That over, yes. Okay, sorry.
All right, hold on. Let's see.
All right.
Saquon's 93.5, and there's no Gainwell. But there
93
should be.
and a half. Well,
93 and a half.
I'm taking the under tonight.
All right.
I'll take the under just because I think the other team, even though not capable against that, is going to be where they think the Eagles are going to do that.
Yeah.
They're going to try to stop that. Yeah.
We'll see. That secondary of theirs is tough. Or not
Okay.
tough. It's tough in a bad way.
All right. Let's go to Joe in Bordentown. All right, Joe, what is that fashion faux pas for you?
Oh, well, first of all, I think nominating Gaetz is an unforced error by Trump, and I think it should be Andrew McCarthy.
Yeah, he doesn't mix with Trump too well. I love Andy McCarthy, not a Trump guy. That's the only issue there, you know?
Okay, well, and the answer to the side question is wearing green leather shoes.
All right, I had
Speaking
them
from
when
experience,
I had
or-
them when I was in 8th grade. They were beautiful.
Why?
I wore them to a
Was
spelling
that your
bee.
choice or your mom's choice?
My choice. I
Oh,
loved it. I
gosh.
couldn't get enough of the green, and I almost won the spelling bee. I thought they were helping.
The style choices started early. huh?
They
Lucky
did.
shoes.
Yeah, lucky shoes. Lori and Ringo's has a great one. Lori, how are things?
Hey, 2 words, man bun.
Wait, before you go forward with that, Lori, I'm serious about this too. Not that they would know you. The View bosses are looking, desperately hunting for a Trump supporter woman, not just a, quote, Republican. I would nominate you in a heartbeat, but it'd be bloody on that first day, what you would do.
Oh, my God, I would love that.
I know it.
I'm your girl.
Yeah, absolutely. So the man bun, definitely, that is a very good one. It's still out there. And who is the most prominent we've seen recently with a man bun? I'm trying to remember.
I'm sure
There's
Jason
some-
Momoa's done it at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, it's who in the world tells somebody what women say?
Roman
Oh,
Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
If Maisie said, "Dan, try the man bun," what would you say? It's Maisie.
Yeah, I'd
Your
do
wife.
it.
You would.
Yeah, I'd rock a man bun.
Oh man,
Yeah, I just hate having hair in my face. My hair's pretty long right now, and it's
I would
terrible
say
having
the
hair in
man
face.
bun is worse than the mullet. That's how bad it is. It
I
really
don't think the mullet's so bad either.
Gives off, I don't know, kind of pretentious vibe with that
It
man
does.
bun.
It does, big time. Let's try Drew in Upper Darby. All right, Drew, what's yours?
Hey, Don, this is outside the box, but you know what? Thank God this unfunny idea didn't last long. Even as a kid, I thought it was ridiculous. So that's when I was on the boardwalk as a kid, I used to see the invisible dog leashes. People walking, having a leash with no dog in it. I'm like, what is going on there? Thanks, man.
Thank you. I don't know. Was
It's
that
called
a fashion
imagination,
statement?
Drew. I had one when I was a child.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I used to walk around an imaginary dog at one point in my life.
Well, the people that would leash their
Luckily, I
kids
have a real
together
one now.
in line, you know, the leash thing or whatever. Oh man, I don't
Yeah,
think that would go
also
today. I would
had that
be
as well.
tempted to snip that, but you know, I got to let parenting go. Parental rights.
Pretty
not
sure I wore a
violent thing.
leash in Disney World one year.
Henry, out of all these, what did you like?
I think I got to go with Lori on this one. The man bun. I
Okay.
don't like it either. Not a fan.
Mine goes to Lou in Philadelphia, who out of nowhere was asked for the side answer. He goes, "Bras on the cars."
That was a wild answer. I'm going to go with Henry on this one. I agree, Dan. It was but I didn't quite see the whole. All right, so the man bun wins. It goes into the hat, and we'll have all that for you tomorrow. And tomorrow, Henry, we have Joe Picozzi on.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. This is the guy, finally, who won the Senate seat in Northeast Philadelphia. It may lead to getting a new Republican Party here in Philadelphia. If that happens, Pennsylvania, as Jim Worthington says, should not be a swing state. if you actually had a viable Republican Party here and Philadelphia doesn't crush the rest of the state, it makes a huge, huge difference. So we'll look for that. Also, today, the Matt Gaetz stuff, we're working on that. We'll have more to say. Follow me on Twitter at DomShow1210, at DomShow1210. And The View is desperately hunting, says the Daily Mail, for someone who is actually a Trump supporter. Now, notice they had Meghan McCain. Well, that was a dead end. She's a Republican of sorts. Then they have the woman now who worked in the Trump White House. What would happen if they actually had somebody on? We might take some nominees tomorrow, because if that happened, they would just degenerate into ganging up and doing that. But there are some women out there that would be impossible to do that. We've talked about when Condoleezza Rice was on. Are they really getting it? No, maybe not. All right, Rich Cioli's next for 4 big hours. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
When you go on vacation, does it make sense to have someone else pack for you? Of course not. The same can be said for your retirement. Your 401k could be packed with things you don't know about or even need. If you're close to retirement but don't have a plan customized to your goals, that's kind of like taking a 30-year vacation with no idea what's in your suitcase. Seems like a stressful way to start what should be a relaxing time. Jim Cipriotti and the Retire Ready Financial Group can help you unpack your savings and build a plan to help reduce future taxes, along with a clearly defined income strategy. Call Jim at 610-894-7415 for your complimentary retirement game plan, or visit retirereadyfg.com. That's 610-894-7415.
Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
This football season, get yourself a win by losing. Call NJ Diet today and you will lose 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days, contractually guaranteed. You'll shock family during holiday get-togethers, and more importantly, your doctor should finally be able to give you good news about your blood work. Not only that, but losing weight is linked to help boosting low T. Best of all, there are no shots or nasty side effects. Call today, 855-5NJ-DIET, or go to njdiet.com.
Hey, Joe DeCamera here. Isn't it time to invest in yourself? Well, how about this? Start a PI Dental Center with decades of experience in complex dental treatment, and I've been a patient of PI Dental for